Fine. Go. All right, just go.
You know what kind of person I am. If you don't tell, I'll find out myself.
Mama Joseph, I really am okay. Really, I'm fine.
Kusahona when napaya googling natembea in front of my husband hapo.
Kwani wewe kasuku?
Wewe.
Mimi ile heshima hata niko na kuheshimu madam naona hakuna haja.
Hata mimi hapana kuheshimu wewe.
Huyu kwanza ndo jini mkatakamba mheshimiwa.
Mimi nilileta majini saa ngapi?
Hiyo mimi ilikuwa napenda yeye. Unajua penda nataka kutuanga. Lakini
hiyo mapenzi yako ni tofauti.
Namna gani hata wewe iko paya googling yeye alafu wewe napundisha yeye nafanya jigli yangu
Why did you bring temptation kwa nyumba za wenyewe?
Yes.
Hakuna temptation imeletwa.
This project was started in our district in the year 2008, and we donate hands to amputees whose hands are amputated below the elbow, 5 to 6 inches.
Persons with disabilities across the country need to recognize that they are the voice, and their voices need to be heard. Many caregivers feel lonely and require psychosocial support, but they also need to recognize that you cannot fill from an empty cup. You need to be the voice of your child.
Good morning. Indeed, we're coming to you live from Kapsabet, which is Nandi County, on day one of the Taptengele Cultural Festival that is expected to culminate in the Bargetunyi Marathon. So today we are going to have a series of programs that include just looking at capacity building in the tourism sector. I'm going to be giving you details as we proceed with this particular program that commences this morning. So from where you can see, children are going to school in the background. You can also see some athletes actually working out this early in the morning. And if you're wondering why I have a Marvin just covering my ears, well, let's just say it is pretty cold. Good morning to you. I know studio, you're easy and cozy. Vivian, Mike, and DJ Elijah. Good to have you on board on Entertainment Thursday. So a lot of entertainment coming from this direction, that is Nandi County. And as of this moment, we are in Kapsabet, where we are ready to bring you up to speed with those stories that have been making headlines in the last 12 hours. Thank you, guys. I can see you there. I don't know how things are looking in the Central Business District, but this chilly weather here, but a beehive of activity, students going to school, runners still working out on this particular road where we are right now. I don't know the situation in the Central Business District. Good morning, Vivian.
Good morning, Ray, and a very good morning to each and every one of you. Let me tell you, Ray, it is just as cold in the capital as well. It is quite cold. But of course, in the studio, it's warm and cozy, just as you mentioned. But yes, it is just as cold outside. And we cannot wait to see what will be coming out, you know, from Kapsabet, all the entertainment that will be taking place over there today. Of course, we will be getting it right here on KBC Channel 1. Welcome. This is Entertainment Thursday, and this is where we get to entertain you every single Thursday morning. As you can see, my people are all here. You know, Mike with the mustard.
This is Leo ni mustard.
How you
kitambo ngeniuliza which color is this, I would say yellow.
You'd say yellow.
Yeah, because it's close to yellow. And we know yellow.
Yeah.
But I'm doing great, and Ray, I hope you are having a good time over there. At least it's a chance for you to immerse yourself in culture of the people of that area. And you can rest assured that KBC will be bringing you that. But before then, this is Entertainment Thursday, and Future Voices today, we are just asking a very simple question. Is delivery, about leadership and delivery about age? We are talking about generational leadership, the young crop of leaders versus the older politicians. What is service delivery all about? That is a conversation that we'll be having before we get into the entertainment aspect of the show. But I want to hear what DJ has in store for us today.
Good morning, my people. It's a brand new year. 2026. Hii mwaka tulifikiria itafika but imefika. Today it's a bit of everything. So Kenyan, mostly I'll be playing house music, and just to bring us back to the old times kidogo as we start this new year. We remember the past as we go on forward.
All right, so definitely we will be having a good time right here, as we'll also be having conversations with different people in the entertainment scene, from filmmakers to musicians, and then we'll also be having a conversation on the Matwana culture, that is our Matatu culture. But right about now, I want to hand it over hand it over rather to Ray to give us the news. Ray.
Thank you very much, Vivian. As you talked about Matwana culture, we're going to be down talking about the culture of the people we're going to be interacting with in the Tap Tengele Cultural Festival that commences today. And in the next 3-4 days, it's going to culminate in the Bargetunyi Marathon. So once we're done with this particular program, I'm just going to give you a sneak peek of how it's looking. But before then, let's bring you up to speed with those stories. As you mentioned, yesterday we had the Energy Regulatory Authority there doing a review of the fuel prices there, up by 2 shillings. We also have those who sailed through in as far as the AFCON semi-finals are concerned. But first things first, let's start off with the general aspect and focusing on matters health, where critical medical services are on the brink of collapse following the prolonged doctors' strike, now entering its 4th week due to an ongoing impasse between the medics and the Nairobi County government. Joseph Wahungu has the details on that developing bit.
Medical services in public health facilities continued to bear the brunt of a prolonged doctor strike. For 28 days now, public hospitals in Nairobi have remained largely without doctors as the standoff between medics and the county government deepens. The Nairobi county government is accused of fueling the crisis.
So in Nairobi, you are a parent, you have a family depending on you, you don't have a salary. 14th of January, you don't have a salary, your kids have gone back to school, your landlord is waiting on you. The list is endless. How do you expect us to survive in this Nairobi?
The doctors have singled out Mbagathi Hospital as one of the worst hit facilities, with patients advised to seek services elsewhere.
There's a 16-year-old who came to deliver here at Mbagathi. She was termed, she was in labor. Unfortunately, this lady got what we call a 3rd-degree tears. That lady was just bleeding. So they tried to refer, nothing. This lady was bleeding because that was 2 weeks ago. Do you know what the county leaders were doing? They were busy gallivanting in this country.
Wananchi wa Nairobi, mjue hakuna madaktari hospitali. Na ukienda hospitali mwenye anakutibu ni wale wenye mnaitanga madaktari, lakini si madaktari.
The strike, which began on December 19th, follows months of unresolved grievances, including unpaid salaries, stalled promotions, and lack of comprehensive medical insurance for health workers. The doctors say the situation has left them financially strained. They further accuse the county of failing to implement a return-to-work agreement signed after a 39-day strike earlier last year, noting that out of 12 agreed issues, only confirmation letters were issued.
Governor, any salary, mshahara, we have asked you over and over again. Imagine 2 things which are basic needs for us: insurance, comprehensive insurance cover, and salaries. As we speak now, even the clinical officers are on strike. The other cadres are actually joining tomorrow, telling you that how health is not working in Nairobi.
The union also claims that doctors previously employed under the now defunct Nairobi Metropolitan Services are yet to receive gratuity payments, while others were removed from the payroll due to what they term shoddy biometric processes.
They called us for a meeting. On the 7th or 8th, went for this meeting, then suddenly they realized government is launching something at Uhuru Park, title deeds or bursaries. And then a whole health department decided their priority was to go and witness the governor issue this. It's bad.
Now, still keeping up on matters health is that for the last 22 days, clinical officers and the Ministry of Health have been unable to come to the conversation table to end the strike that has left many Kenyans desperate for care. According to the clinicians, through their union, they argue that the government has been reluctant to come to the table and end the impasse. Here's Castana Marsha with the details.
For 22 days, clinical officers have turned their backs on Kenyans seeking their services in public health facilities. The strike has paralyzed at least 75% of health services in Kenya.
We came here on Wednesday. On Thursday, I got a distress call because one of the people there had lost their sister. Their sister went to a public facility and did not find anybody there. And by the time they were getting to the other hospital, it was too late. There are several cases across the country.
Ngozi vile unaniona hivi siwezi kukaa kwa jua. You can ask a dermatologist wale wamesomea skin condition. Nateseka sana. Mafuta sina mtu wa kununulia. Nikienda daktari aniandikie, hakuna daktari huko.
The Kenya Union of Clinical Officers on Wednesday marched from Afya House to the Council of Governors' offices, accusing the government of indifference.
Even though the Treasury, the SRC, and any other constitutional body that is supposed to approve has already approved. So there is no any plausible reason as to why the CS continues to contravene the rights of clinical officers.
At the crux of the matter is the payment of 19 months' salary arrears to the Global Fund staff, implementation of the collective bargaining agreement, implementation of the 2024 return to work formula, and absorption of UHC staff to permanent and pensionable terms.
The CS even made it very clear that he doesn't want to sign a CBA for few people. He doesn't want to sign a CBA for few people that he has negotiated for since 8 years ago. Did he know that he was negotiating a CBA for 150 people?
Tunafanya kazi katika maabara na zote za TB. Tunasaidia patients wa TB. Sisi kama watu wenye tunafanya kazi hapo, mnatuchukulia vipi? Mnatufanya vipi? Mnatuumiza.
He promised to confirm UHC healthcare workers and he promised to formulate a task force to implement the process. We are not able to trust the process because if Global Fund have not been paid for more than 19 months, how can we be sure as UHC healthcare workers that we will be employed and confirmed so that we can continue serving Kenyans?
The union chairperson, Peterson Washira, has directed clinical officers to remain on strike, urging Kenyans to seek services in private facilities.
As the industrial action hits its 22nd day, its impact is directly felt by the local Mwananchi, with the union maintaining that a dialogue between them and the government is the way to go. My name is Kasichana Masha.
Matters of healthcare are concerned. Now we cross over to Kenya's quest towards a first world status. And amid public discourse is that Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki has reaffirmed that Kenya is going to reach that particular goal in a generation. These are take-homes from the 14th World Development Partners Forum that was held in Karen, Nairobi. Here is Irene Odim with the details of that.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki says the government is prioritizing agriculture with significant investments in water harvesting, irrigation and storage aimed at enhancing productivity and creating jobs.
That there is no need to panic. This climate-induced situation is something that will affect the country in the short term, But the government has made arrangements to make sure that we provide enough food for all the people of Kenya and also to save their livestock.
According to the DP, the plans in place will drive the country to a greater vision, with the infrastructure and energy remaining critical drivers of economic growth, with ongoing modernization of roads, rail, ports and airports. Kindiki says the establishment of a sovereign wealth fund aims to safeguard the economy and invest in long-term infrastructure, ensuring future generations benefit from Kenya's mineral and oil wealth.
The world is realizing public sector resources are not enough for the kind of needs that our nations have. And therefore, we will leverage on private sector partnerships with the public sector to get adequate resources to achieve our objectives.
While in Nairobi during the 14th Development Partners Forum, Kindiki said that the government has increased investment in education, research and innovation, with research funding now at 2% of GDP to power Kenya's future economy.
Now from Nairobi, Karen, we head over to Turkana County, where the Principal Secretary in charge of Immigration and Citizen Services, Belio Kipsang, revealed that an intensive registration exercise is currently underway using live capture machines that has commenced in Turkana, Baringo and West Pokot, with IDs expected to be processed within 3 to 7 days after the data is submitted. Speaking during a sensitization forum for chiefs and assistant chiefs at the Bandari Maritime Academy in Mombasa, Dr. Kipsang said similar exercises will be rolled out across wards and schools to ensure that students and residents are registered concurrently during county visits.
I want to mention that we are going to have an intensive exercise on registration, starting with Turkana, Baringo and West Pokot from next week or the week after, where we are going to use live capture machines. You go to that registration, they'll take your fingerprints, they'll take all the information, they'll scan in all the other documents. At the end of your exercise, which may take you around between 5 to 7 minutes, when the pattern of submit is done, it comes directly to the headquarters. We print your ID. We do some little checking to confirm the information and to confirm the data. And in 3 or 4 days, you have your ID. On this mobile registration, every time we shall be in a county, like I said, we are going to be in Turkana in the next 1 week. While we are going to every ward, and we shall allocate a machine or 2 in every ward, we shall allocate maybe another 2, 3 or 4 equipments. Within that time, we are doing intensive registration to visit schools so that we do it concurrently. While we are doing it for a year, we are doing it for our students. So when we come to Mombasa for intensive registration, we shall be dealing with every ward while we also deal with every school.
And some good news for traders and Kenya itself, that Kenya is going to continue enjoying the parks under the AGOA agreement. That is the African Growth and Opportunity Act for a further 3 years. Investment, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Lee Kinyanjui says that Kenya is still in negotiations, however, to introduce more products into this tax-free quarter. Here is Benson Rioba.
The U.S. House of Representatives has approved the renewal of the African Growth and Opportunity Act AGOA by 3 years. Kenya has been holding talks with the United States to extend the AGOA deal that expired on 30th September 2025. Investments, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Lee Kinyanjui says the textile and apparel industries operating within the export processing zones will benefit more as it employs over 80,000 people directly and 250,000 people indirectly. Kenya is still discussing a bilateral trade agreement that will cover other key sectors and further cement Kenya's long-standing partnership with the U.S.
It is a platform
that connects Africa and the US in a very fundamental way. And it can go a long way in solving some of the trade deficits and challenges that exist at the moment, especially in the context of where the world is going.
Kenya exports textiles and apparel, coffee, tea and horticulture to the US, with Kinyanjui saying talks are underway to increase its product shipments. In a statement, the CS said, quote, "As a ministry, we aim to grow export of additional products under the AGOA framework beyond textiles, ensuring that Kenya fully leverages this opportunity to create jobs and generate wealth." End of quote. AGOA provides qualifying sub-Saharan African countries with duty-free entry to the US market for over 1,800 products, in addition to more than 5,000 goods included under the generalized system of preferences. AGOA extension is expected to stabilize jobs and encourage further investment in export-oriented industries.
Now from business, given that yesterday we had the fuel review prices there that are going to govern the cost of fuel, retail fuel, or prices at the pump going up by an average of 2 shillings. We are going to be speaking matters business, and the current global showpiece, so to speak, that is the AFCON, was underway yesterday with the quarterfinals, where Senegal has qualified, or rather is going to be at the semi-final, after it squared it out with Egypt, scoring a solitary goal. Well, Egypt could not find its way to the back of the net. Then we had the match of the night, so to speak, highly anticipated. It took place at around 11 p.m. yesterday night. Nigeria squaring it out with Morocco, ending there with penalties there on a draw normal time. Then we went to penalties, quite electrifying, so to speak. And Morocco now sailed through to the semi-final there against, after scoring 4 penalties against 2 from Nigeria there. We'll continue keeping tabs on what is happening in as far as AFCON is concerned. And just to remind you this morning is that we are coming to you live from Kapsabet, which is in Nandi County. And the reason why we're here to participate, and bear witness to the launch of various programs to build capacity within the tourism sector. Last year, the government has been pushing for immersive experiences, moving away from the beach and the safari products there in a move to diversify the portfolio, targeting both international and domestic tourists. Now, the 2026 Tap Tengele Cultural Festival will be flagged off at the will be a flag off of the Youth Hospitality and Cruise Ship Skills Development Program that is going to be held at Tinderet Integrated Technical and Trainers College, which begins today. And a team is already here, sponsored by various government entities, including the Kenya Tourism Board, to just highlight on how Kenya is poised to build her capacity when it comes to skills within this particular niche sector. Remember, the country is aiming at hosting by the year 2027 at least 5 million tourists. According to the data towards the end of last year, we had around 2.4 million tourists visiting the country amid a lot of competition from our neighbors, but Kenya has proven her own, boasting of MICE facilities as well as new products, including immersive products that we are currently keeping tabs on. So Vivian and Mike, we are going to be on this 4-day tour here that is going to be culminating in the Bargetuny Marathon there, to just highlight what Nandi County has to offer and also give an endpoint to capacity building when it comes to cruise ships to build Kenya's capacity in the hospitality industry. We'll be keeping tabs on this and bringing you up to speed. For now, we hand you over to Broadcasting House, but just to remind you that also in our diary this morning, being Thursday is the new Friday, and we're talking about entertainment. Rather on a serious social economic aspect is that President William Ruto is going to be launching the Nyota project in Machakos County. We'll continue keeping tabs, and as you can see what is happening here, instead of people walking to their various workstations, be it school, be it to the market, they actually run to those places. So maybe, just maybe, we might also start running to work. But hey, it is what it is. This is live from Kapsabet. In the next few, we will be at Tinderet to just capture this moment. It is quite cold here. The nights are shorter and the days longer here in Kapsabet. I hand you over to Broadcasting House. I'm Regina Manyara.
About this. Well, see, he told me that after they divorced, he said he wants to marry me.
But what's all the hurry, son? You barely know the young woman, and now you are marrying her.
I know Lucia well enough to be sure that she is the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with, Mom.
Oh.
It's all your fault that this happened. You're the one responsible for what happened to my daughter.
Hello, my love. Have you missed me?
Who is this?
I'm sorry, but am I calling the mobile phone of Mrs. Rebecca Murillo?
And who the heck are you?
Give me my phone. Give it to me. My phone, Nora. Let it go.
Tell me, Mom, who is that guy on the phone? Why did he call you my love? And why did he ask if you missed him?
Hautaabudu yoyote wala kuelekeza ibada yoyote kwa mwingine asiyokuwa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bali ibada zako zote utakuwa mwenye kumwelekezea Allah. Unapokuwa na matatizo yoyote utakuwa mwenye kumkimbilia Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Masharti haya ni kuwa na imani ya neno lile. Usiseme neno ambalo huna imani nalo.
Mama mbele yono kuwasomea somo la asma arnabon songora asadun sim anana
Are you a talented artist, or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with our music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream, all for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. This is a Future Voices segment where we give young people a chance to contribute to matters that affect the country. Today, we are looking at generational leadership in Kenya. Is a delivery about age or approach? Because, Kenya's political arena is increasingly, sometimes, in most times, or often than not, shaped by tension and synergy between youthful leaders and older political figures. But here, the question transcends age to include matters to whether leadership, effectiveness and delivery depend on age or more on approach, skills, and public engagement rather than chronological age. That is what we are delving into today. And in studio, I'm joined by Nelson Njiro, who is a political and governance expert. Unaendeleaje? Thank you for making time.
Thank you, Mike.
And Sakawa Obengi, who is a youth leader of Jubilee Party. Karibu sana.
Asante.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well.
Yes. Before we get into that conversation, I want to take a minute to just take you through what is making headlines in our local dailies, and I will start with the Star, the big rip-off. MCAs, top county staff vanish with car house loans. Assembly's executive arms fail to recover facilities. Advance to officials. That story is told on page 5. Who did he offend? Car wash torn down. That is a story that regards Kiambu, Governor Wamatangi's cleaning business at Nyayo Stadium, which was demolished on Tuesday night. When it comes to the Standard on the front page, turbulence at KQ, the grounded fleet crippling the national carrier is not misfortune, but brazen looting. Insiders confess that a ruthless syndicate within Kenya Airways, is stripping parts from aircrafts on the tarmac, selling them back to the airline as new in a shameless cycle of theft. As passengers suffer endless flight cancellations and farmers watch their products wilt because they can't export, the board's answer is a dubious 60 million per month lease for old Boeing jets, a deal experts call financial suicide, with over 98 billion of taxpayers' money already spent on bailouts. Kenyans are left asking, is this the final betrayal of the pride of Africa? That story is told on page 4 of the Standard newspaper. And finally, 800,000 senior school learners are still at home. Only about 300,000 of the over 1.1 million junior school graduates have reported to their respective senior schools since Monday, with the low turnout blamed on several factors, including cash constraints on the last-minute quest to change institutions. That story is told on page 2 and 3 of the Daily Nation. Uganda decides. Millions of voters are casting their ballots today in Uganda's general election, with President Yoweri Museveni, who has been in power for nearly 4 decades, a seventh term. His main challenger is a former top pop star Bobi Wine, but there are 6 other presidential candidates. Remember that even the internet was shut down in Uganda leading up to today's elections. That story is told on page 21 of the Daily Nation, how Jonjo factor shaped law society. That story is told on page 7. And finally, a New Year hearing gift for dozens of children. That story is told on page 12 of the stand of the Daily Nation. That is what is being reported on the front pages of our local dailies. Let's get back to our conversation, and this is about leadership. When you look at the young generation leadership and older politician, is it all about age, or it goes beyond that? And I'll throw this question. I'll start with you, Nelson. What do you think leadership and delivery is all about?
Thank you, Mike, and thank you for having me this morning. I think leadership is not necessarily about the age. I think leadership is about accountability. I think leadership is about execution. And when I talk about execution, that is one of the things that is really missing in this country.
Execution.
Yes, execution. We have very good ideas on paper, but executing them is a different story. When you look at manifestos that are thrown here and there when election is about to come, brilliant manifestos, but execution of the same is a problem. Accountability by the leaders as well. And you see, these factors are not determined by the age. They're just principles of what are you telling us? What you're telling us, is it something that you can deliver? Are you prepared to do it? or you're just coming up with something that you're telling the public you're able to do this, but you're not even prepared to do it. So it's about integrity as well. So as much as many people in different generations would want to be leaders, I don't think the age is the main factor. That is not to say that the younger people should not be given opportunities. They actually should be given, but it should be based on the ability to execute, capacity, accountability, and integrity. Yes.
Sakawa. Yes, thank you. For me, I'd say leadership is about, as you had said, accountability. Leadership is about competency, and leadership is about discipline. Anybody can be a leader, but not everybody can attain those three. I was able to watch the interview yesterday between Ndindi Nyoro and Babu Wino, and there's a point that Ndindi Nyoro said that people campaign and campaign for these seats, and once they get to these positions, they don't know what to do. They were never prepared. And you see, if we were to get good leadership, no matter what age it is, it'll need competency, being able to know what you're doing and be good at it. It'll need discipline, not being distracted by power, attaining power, and probably looking for money through corruption, and accountability, being able to be accountable for everything that you do in that position of influence. Yes.
Looking at the new crop of young leaders, well, let me say youthful leaders that we have, for instance, Babu Owino, Ndindi Nyoro, Akina Sifuna, would you say that they understand their position better and service delivery better, as opposed to years when, as comparing to the older crop of politicians that we have today?
I would say, 75% of our population are youthful. So if you are relating with these people, chances that you'll understand the challenges that they are going through are very high. And that is why you'll find the leaders that you've mentioned, because they're interacting with these people who are actually the majority, they tend to understand the needs of this particular population, and they work towards achieving the same. So that is why you'll find these leaders are able to understand, because they are in that particular generation, they're in the same, they interact mostly with these people. They get to understand it. It's not, basically, I think the fact that they are able to relate to the issues that people in that generation are going through, they're able to execute and look for solutions to that. Like education, Ndindi Nyoro has said he has been trending a lot because of what he has done in education. Education is a very big factor.
Exactly.
It's a very important component in all manner of things in a country. In economy growth, you must have an educated population. It's very, very important if you have to drive the economy of the country to the next level. So he has understood this, okay? And because of this, he has been able to ensure that this thing is affordable to every child in his constituency. So he has been able to interact with them and understand, okay? So I think the fact that they can relate to the young people, they are able to get to know their needs and work on them and execute. Yes.
Looking at the youthful leaders as we are talking about, what do you think they are doing better as opposed to the older politicians or older leaders as at now, and going forward, what do you think anyone who is youthful enough to vie for a seat will do different?
Well, I think what makes them look better is in terms of what they do differently, because with the youthful members of parliament and all other politicians, one thing that gives them an advantage over the older generation is digital literacy. If you look at a good example of Babu Owino, He is able to use social media to educate candidates every year. If you are to compare that with what older generation leaders have been doing, it's not the same. If you look at them being that young, it makes them be able to relate with the current issues of the youth, whether it is unemployment, whether it is matters help, and all those. So it is with that exposure that has helped them to do it differently, because they get to understand better, having a larger population, 75% of the country being the youths. So they have that advantage of knowing and relating what the youths are undergoing and what is actually affecting them. Yeah.
Is there something that, in terms of shifting perception or mental capacity, that the youthful leaders have brought into the whole leadership sphere and helped even the older politicians look at things differently?
Yes, I think accountability is one of them. It's something that the youthful leaders are striving to achieve. Because nowadays, we elect you in an office or you're given a certain position and you do not deliver, the youthful guys on internet will be on your case. Okay? Like they have, you know, basically as you're speaking about age, you also have youthful leaders who are not delivering. Yeah, Nairobi is a very filthy county at the moment. Yes, we have a very youthful leader who is running it. Okay, so I think the accountability bit of it is also is something that is driving. And you see, nowadays people are result oriented. What we gave you this mandate, what are you doing with it? What have you done? If you're able to show us that, people will always support you. But if you're not able to show us that, we abandon you. Yes, and that is what is going to happen in 2027. Yes.
Something about social media. He has said, yes, we have youthful leaders in positions, but service delivery is wanting. Are some of them using social media for visibility as opposed to service delivery?
Yes, it is quite unfortunate that we find leaders who have invested more on PR rather than what is needed of them to do. Because as you've said, social media, you can find someone is very popular on social media. But if you were to go and visit their local area, whether it's their constituency, their county, you find that the people have a different view of that leader. And that's why I think at times you find there are leaders who are very popular and outside their regions. And if you were asked who are best performing leaders, you'd probably mention those ones who are always on social media or rather the traditional media, because this is what we see. And then once the polls come out, you find certain leaders are not even close to the top 10. You find that certain leaders do not come back. Well, I think the problem is if we try to use an advantage of the social media as a way to cover up incompetency.
Using social media as a facade.
Yeah.
Nelson, what sort of synergy do we need to blend this to kind of leadership situations where we have youthful leaders who are delivering, and we have older leaders, the older political class of leaders? How can we create that synergy to ensure that service delivery is enhanced?
Actually, what you're mentioning now is the winning formula. Okay, that is the winning formula, because the older generation comes in with a lot of experience. The younger generation comes in with a lot of innovation, with a new energy. And if there's a way the youthful people can be listened to, they can be mentored, so that we have a formula where all generations are working out together. That is the winning formula. That is the most ideal, because now you have all the values put in together. So it's very important that the leaders who are currently in offices, and the older generation mostly they should mentor young people. And actually they should not see the ambitions of the young people as a threat. When young people tell them that we want these seats, it should not be a fight, like what is happening currently in ODM. When the young leaders are telling them, we want to go for these positions, it should not be seen as if they are rebels. It should not be seen as if they're bringing confusion in. No, they just want that position. Mentor them. Give them that opportunity. Let them come and lead so that we have that synergy. We have the older generation working together with the younger generation. But mentorship is important. When you're in leadership, mentor the young people. Leadership is like relay. Yeah, I hand over the baton someone else, and we keep doing that. Then these youthful leaders at the moment, later on, they will hand over these batons to the much younger generation, and that is how you pass experience to each other. That is how you bring that synergy, and that is how you are able to bring people to work together. Because as much as you're working, the majority in terms of percentages are the youthful people, you still also have the older generation. And probably the older leaders understand their needs better than us. So we need them on board, so that if we have our youthful generation working, all the three generations, there's the older one, there's the middle age, and the young ones, all these people given equal opportunity in leadership. That is the winning formula.
Is there maybe a problem where the youthful leaders see the older leaders as a problem, and that now creates some level of friction in terms of perspectives on how leadership should be?
Yes, that happens quite often, as he has given an example of the ODM party. I think the key issue here should be are the youths given an opportunity? Because if I was to use my party as an example, the Jubilee Party, Johnson Sakaja was able to be given that opportunity in 2013 when he was the chair of the party. He was the chair of the party in his 20s, and I think he even broke history as being the youngest chairman of a ruling party. You see, that in itself is an opportunity. If you look at an example of when we gave a presser this year, instead of our deputy party leader, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, or rather the Secretary General of the party, Jeremiah Kioni, reading the presser, it was the youths that were given the chance to read that presser. You see, that is opportunity. And therefore, when you have such atmosphere, you rarely find people clashing because the youth are given an opportunity. So it is with that mentality, you avoid something called replacement leadership. We are not looking for replacement leadership. We are looking for transitional leadership, because at the end of the day, I feel the youth cannot do it on their own, and the older generation cannot do it on their own. They are best when working together, because at the end of the day, even if the youth can come with the new ideas, a new perspective, energy, the older generation have experience, and that blends in very well together. So I think the problem is the youth are not given an opportunity, and if they were to be given an opportunity, I feel like the clashes will not be as much as they are right now.
Let me ask you still within that aspect, but then again within the context of political parties. What do you think sometimes political parties are reluctant to let the youthful people within that political party take up serious positions when it comes to party leadership?
Well, I think maybe it is because some leaders would feel like that is a threat, because we all know there comes an advantage with having a party leadership. For example, maybe a certain leader is aiming for a particular seat, and he or she knows that for me to have an advantage over my competitors, I need to have leadership position in the party. Therefore, you find maybe they feel as a youth, the much that they can do is just bring perspective and energy, as opposed to them who might even bring donations and cash within the party. So they feel that the youth do not have much to offer as them, and therefore you find that is where the clash comes, where what are the youth offering? But I think I'm very proud of what happened with the youths coming out, because now the leadership is changing, but whereby the leaders are now seeing that the youths can also come out and give their perspective, not just sitting in their homes or being on social media and not interested in the country. Yes.
Why should the youthful leaders be seen as bringing new perspectives into leadership, as opposed to being seen as a threat when it comes to leadership?
Innovation. You know, we're going with times. We're going with times. Things are evolving. Things are changing. Youthful leaders should not be seen as a threat. They should actually be seen as assets, especially in political parties and all that. You know, this thing, the reason as to why when in political parties, sometimes they are very hesitant in terms of giving these positions to the youthful guys. It's because there was a narrative that has been propelled in this country for a very long time, since we were very young. Wewe ni kiongozi wa kesho. The youths are leaders, future leaders or something. And this future never comes. Every time you're just told you're a leader for future or something. So it got to a point where the youthful guys became very aggressive, like this future we always told, it never seems to get here. So we want these positions now. That would be seen as a threat. But however, you need these youthful people because of the transformation of life, transformation of systems and all that, because the youths now are very innovative. And that is something that you cannot avoid in the current setup of the world here.
Indeed.
Yes.
We are talking about generational leadership here in Kenya, and this conversation is going to continue after this short break. Stay with us.
Can't be so impulsive. You're still young, and your mom is... Please listen to your mom, okay?
Fine. Go. All right, just go.
You know what kind of person I am. If you don't tell, I'll find out myself.
Mama Joseph, I really am okay. Really, I'm fine.
Kusahona nafanya googling natembea in front of my husband hapo.
Kwani wewe Kasuku?
Wewe
mimi ile heshima, hata niko na kuheshimu madam, naona hakuna haja.
Hata mimi hapana kuheshimu wewe mwingine.
Huu kwanza ndo jini mkatakamba mheshimiwa.
Mimi nilileta majini saa ngapi?
Hiyo mimi ilikuwa napenda yeye. Unajua penda nataka kutuonga. Lakini
hiyo mapenzi yako ni tofauti.
Namna gani? Hata wewe iko fanya googling yeye, alafu wewe napundisha yeye nafanya jigli hata yangu.
Why did you bring temptation kwa nyumba za wenyewe?
Yes.
Hakuna temptation imeletwa.
Hautaabudu yoyote wala kuelekeza ibada yoyote kwa mwingine asiyokuwa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bali ibada zako zote utakuwa mwenye kumwelekezea Allah. Unapokuwa na matatizo yoyote utakuwa mwenye kumkimbilia Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Masharti haya ni kuwa na imani ya neno lile. Usiseme neno ambalo huna imani nalo.
Mama mbele yono kuwasomea somo la asma. Arna bomsongora. أسعد سم أنا سلم دائما أبدا على حال
Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Good Morning Kenya. This is Future Voices, where we give the young generation of this country a chance to contribute to matters of national interest. We are talking about generational leadership in Kenya and about age and delivery. Where do they meet? Let's look at performance and accountability. When you look at the young crop of leaders, do they face higher expectations as opposed to those who have been longer in office? And why is that? Let me start with you, Sakawa.
Well, I think the reason why it is that way, it is probably because of generational trauma. In the sense that for a very long time we have seen leaders not performing, and therefore we, the youths, come out saying we'll do things differently, we'll be different in terms of our leadership skills. And then it has reached a point where even us as the youth, some of us have been given the opportunity, have been given the chance, and we still end up being the same with the older generation. And therefore now it becomes issue with the younger voters, because they feel like they have not made any difference, or they have not done any change towards the people in leadership. And therefore, even with these coming elections, it will even be more stricter in terms of qualifications of a leader and attributes that you have as an individual. Because, for example, I remember during the protest, we've been having the young people coming out with information that many people are shocked in terms of what this bill is going to affect the Kenyan common mwananchi, what this leader did in a previous bill that was passed. Maybe the bill that they introduced was going to affect the common mwananchi. So with the youths being more informative and the youths being more attentive, that is the result of it, whereby now the younger leaders are held accountable. Yeah.
What do you think? Are there more expectations put on younger leaders, and how do they affect them in terms of service delivery?
There's a lot of expectation on the youthful leaders. And the reason being that now the Kenyan population, the young people, are very well informed about their rights and about what is required of the leaders to do. So now, it's not like we just elect a leader or get a leader, he goes there and we are like, okay, he's going there to represent us. No, we are informed. We know what we expect from that leader. So accountability is now compulsory. We've given you that office, you have the resources, you have the power, you have the mandate. What have you done? And it's going to be, as he has said, it's going to be, there's a lot of accountability that is going to be required before now we elect you, because it will be, what are you going to do? And after a few months, people will be asking you, we got you to this office, what have you done? However, having said that, I think one thing that really needs to change is tokenism. Because today I come to you, I give you a token and you get to employ me and in an elective office, and that's it, and I go away. The next time you see me is when we are about to have elections again. You see, I'll be like, okay, this is all you wanted. So that really needs to change, so that I don't just need 1,000 shillings and that's it. You go in an office for 5 years, without doing anything because you gave me something. No. Members of the public, the youthful people, the voter now, should really hold anybody they are electing accountable. Yeah? Let's see, this is the mandate we've given you. What are you going to do? Are you actually doing it? Because people come, as I've started by mentioning, people come on the ground with a lot of things on paper. But are you going to execute that? Are you able to implement that? Because we are lacking a lot of implementation in this country. A lot of it. You come and tell us a lot of things. When you go, everything changes. I'm yet to see one person who has moved from one level to another the way we were promised till now. So I think it's going to be tough Leaders are going to be required to really account for what they have done. Yes.
Citizen-centered kind of accountability approach, would that work?
Yes, it will work because at the end of the day, we are serving the citizens. We are not serving ourselves. A good example is during the tenure of former CS and our deputy party leader, Dr. Fred Matiang'i. If it was a matter of moving from analog to digital, he pushed it, and you can see we are enjoying its fruits today. If it was matters of education, he was pushing for education where it will produce competent learners, because at the end of the day, if one was to steal the exams and end up being a doctor, many of us will be affected. If it was a matter of placements with you're seeing the current issues that are happening right now, many students were not as, or rather many students and parents were not as affected as they are right now. So with such mentality whereby we want to do the best for the citizen, not for ourselves and as individuals, that is the best way to go. Yes.
What should be the metrics of measuring service delivery? And this I'm going to you too. From your perspectives, what do you think should be the metrics of measuring service delivery to the people?
Measuring service delivery, I think it is to see the impact that it has on the people. For example, if it is free education, we saw what free education did for the people. Many people were able to get educated, and that is why we have, as a nation, so many people who are educated. If it is fighting corruption, cartelism, a good example is when we were able to, during the previous administration, we were able to fight the cartelism in Nyayo House, and passports were able to be released at a short period. Offices were open in various counties. So now people are able to get their passports much easier without having to go to Nyayo House. Those are a few examples of how service delivery can be met, or how service delivery can be seen. Yes.
From your standpoint, Nelson, is it about bills passed, laws passed, resources secured? What should be the metrics?
I agree with him. It's about the impact. What impact is there? What has somebody felt? You've worked on a service. Can somebody feel it? When you tell us the economy has grown, you're the one who's telling us. Can we feel it? That is how you measure service delivery. Because it is tailored. It's supposed to get to me, for me to feel.
The person at the...
yes, at the end of it,
level.
Yes. That person should feel the impact of you delivering that particular service. I should sit in my house and have water full time. Then you tell me you've worked on provision of water. I should walk around Nairobi and see for myself a garbage-free city without you telling me. So it is about the impact. I should be breathing clean air. Okay? So you measure service delivery on the impact to the citizen, common mwananchi. Are we feeling it? Not you just telling us economy has grown, we are doing ABCD. As he has said, most of the time people are just using social media to show us what they are doing here and there. But in real sense, there's very little that is being done. Yes. The mwananchi at the grassroots should feel the impact of what you are doing. Then we will measure it from there and say, yes, you are working.
Still on you, social media has been awash with what the Member of Parliament for Kiharu, Dinyoro, has been doing.
Yes.
And he has refused, he has received both praise and vilification. And vilification is coming from mostly from his contemporaries. But then again, do you think that has set the template, so to speak, as to what service delivery should be, and also has changed the expectations in terms of development that the person at the lowest level should expect?
Certainly, yes. Certainly, yes. The people who are against what Mheshimiwa Ndindi has done, as you said, most of them are legislators in his same level. And now they know they'll be asked by the people, how is it that this particular person can do this and we're not getting you to do anything like for us? Okay? And you see, leadership is not just about working within just the framework. You have to think outside that box. Okay? As Babu says all the time, if your donkey on a Sunday falls into a pit, will you not remove it because it's on Sunday? No, you will. So leaders should stop working within just the framework that they've been given. Think outside the box. See how you're going to help people. If you went through what Ndindi told people about how he's able to finance all this, you'll see that he's going outside the framework that everybody else is trying to work within. Okay, he has to think outside that. And this has set the tone. Okay, this has set the, it has given the voters a different view that, you know, there are so many things that can happen in this country. Looks like they're just not happening by design, not because it's impossible. We are actually seeing practically that this is possible. So some of these things are not working just by design. If people decided to work and work for people, a lot can change in this country. Yes.
Given the kind of now the leadership that Kenyans have seen between both the older generation of leaders and the youthful generation of leaders, would you say, what is your perspective? Does the older generation of leaders rely more on experience and the youthful generation rely more on what you'd call activism, and that is why they are divergent when it comes to views on leadership?
Yes, I think that is very true, because for the older generation, if you were to look what they offer, what other people don't offer, it is experience. Because they have been doing this for a very long time. And the youth are forced to do activism because there's no space for them. I'll give a good example of myself. I was an intern here at KBC in 2021. And I remember the likes of Fadhili, and I was also with Owen here. And that was 2021. I was able to finish my time here and leave. And I can see around the studio we have new people here. You see, with that, they do not need to turn into activists, because I myself have left and they've gotten their space. So it is the same with the current leadership. When we have leaders who are been in the leadership for even 40 years, 50 years, and still want to go on. You see now, by the time they will be done with the need to be leaders, I myself will be old, because I'm thinking of probably for Kalonzo Musyoka, 20 years ago, there was a young man. He's 20 years plus now, now going to 40 years. That one who was 20 years is now 40 years. I am now in my 20s. The one who is 40 years, I will not consider them as a youth. I'll tell them that you also, your time is coming up, because at the end of the day, I also want my space. So I think that is a problem whereby we have, the youth have not been given that space and opportunity. And that's why now the leadership, or rather the older leadership, has experience to show, and the younger leadership have activism to get that space. Yes.
Should we rely only on experience?
Experience is important. Experience is very important, because through experience, that is how you have that transition. However, you cannot only rely on experience, because basically experience is about before now. what about now and after? And that is where innovation comes in. That is where new energy comes in with the youthful people. So we cannot just rely on experience. Apart from it being very important, you also need to think about today and tomorrow. Because experience is about what happened before now.
Let's circle back to the issue of social media, and this regards the leadership style. Now that we are living in the age of social media, has it replaced or strengthened accountability and or replaced leadership substance with performance?
Not really. I think it has actually just enhanced it. Because unlike before the social media era, nowadays you can spot something, put it on social media and hold somebody accountable for that. So basically it's just enhancing, and actually it enhances a lot of accountability. And accountability is important, very, very important. So I think social media in this, apart from it probably being used the wrong way, if it is used the right way, it's a tool that can be used for accountability. It's a tool that can really be used to inform people. Most of the leaders, when they perform very well, because you see, somebody in Kiharu or somebody in Mount Kenya who is performing very well, for them to be like, for the people in other areas to get to see what is happening in these other areas, social media has played a very big role in that. Okay, the northeastern issue about how their MPs are not performing. This was brought up by Gachagua. How would we have known this? People went to Northeastern, took photos of schools, hospitals, and they were on social media. And actually the constituents started holding their MPs accountable because of what they saw on social media. So I think it's not really more of a replacement, it's more of something that supplements accountability. Yes.
We're heading to 2027, and people have seen all sorts of leadership styles. But then again, when you look at the voter today, what does the voter reward? Performance or just political survival?
Well, I think that is an answer that we are yet to know, because for a very long time it hasn't been as we are hoping, that voters reward people who are working or people who are competent. For a very long time it has been which aspirant, or rather which candidate has more money to spend. I think with this coming election, people are able to, I believe that people are able to vote differently, because we have seen with social media, as you said, it has exposed so many things. Because during the holidays, we had people posting their hometowns. You'd find there are people who have good roads in their villages, while others were wondering, is this a village or is this a town? Because in their areas, they have no roads. So you find people want better. People don't want to be at the same level as we are right now. And therefore, I believe people will vote differently, because at the end of the day, we have also gained to see what bad leadership can affect, how bad leadership can affect us. Therefore, I believe people will vote differently. I think my answer is I believe so, because at the end of the day, people have not been voting that way, but we are hopeful that things will be different this election.
Do you see people voting differently this time around?
Like him, I want to believe that people will actually vote differently, because I actually expect them to vote for me as the governor for Nairobi. I might not have a lot of money to splash to anyone and all that stuff, or campaign as a very young person, but I have the ideas, okay? And I know how I'll implement them. I'll actually come up with a manifesto which I will show them practically, not theoretically, not on book, this and this is what I am going to do for the Nairobi County. But that can only work if people go and register as voters. We are still having a lot of people who have not yet registered. Okay, that is the only way we bring change. Okay, we are still hopeful that people will vote for people not because of tokenism, not because I've given you 200 shillings, but because I want to change your life, because I have ideas on how I can make our lives better. So we are hopeful that because of what we have gone through, that people are going to vote differently. And I'm very hopeful that they'll vote for me.
You know, the politics are yet to reach fever pitch.
Yes.
And sometimes Kenyans, you know, there's that euphoric feeling that is there, especially when politics have gone a notch higher. But do you think that euphoric feeling will still be there and affect how people vote?
50-50, yes, no, depends. Yeah, because people, in Kenya, we are still in that era where people, there's a lot of patronage, okay? And then people want to align themselves with a certain popular candidate.
Yes.
Sometimes they don't even look at what this particular person is offering, okay? We just know this particular person and this is the person we are going to vote. So that euphoric bit of it, we are still seeing it because we can see it in rallies and all that, and you know, but we hope that people can see that it is time to change this nation. It is time to give people who are not even popular, as long as they have better ideas on how they're going to change the lives of citizens in this country, they should be given an opportunity to lead. Yes. And you see, we need to get to a place where after 1 year or a certain period, not even after 5 years, we start holding these people accountable. And if they did not perform, there needs to come a structure where, and a system where we can petition this and just remove these people from office. We don't need to keep waiting for 5 years before we do the next election. If somebody's not delivering, they just vacate the office. Yes.
And now, one last question.
Yeah.
What should Kenyans demand differently from a 30-year-old leader and also versus a 60-year-old leader? Let me start with you.
I think if the 30-year-old has been in leadership, then it should be track record, even with a 60-year-old, because I think they say a leader thinks about the next generation, but a politician thinks about the next election. And the people are elected to do what they have promised the voters to do. So if they have not done what they had promised, they should be held accountable. So I think the first one would be track record. The second one would be background. Background in terms of where is this individual coming from? We've had so many leaders within our current political state whereby you find they were involved in so many cases and you wonder, how did this particular individual get to be in this position if they were accused of this and that? Our presidential candidate, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, when he was Interior CS, there's a speech that he gave, I think during this time, when we were getting to the elections. He said, if we don't watch out, many of the people who are involved in money laundering and wash will be in our parliament. And people did not take it seriously. And we are seeing how it has turned out to be. And I'm sure more will even be coming out because they have seen the advantage that it can have on them having such positions. So those are the two things that I'd say: the track record, what they do when they were in leadership, and the second one will be their background. Do they have any criminal cases? Have they done certain things which are unethical? Yes.
What should Kenyans demand differently from a youthful leader versus an older leader?
I think that will depend if both of these people have been in power or not. However, Kenyans or the voter should demand the same things from anybody who is in a public office regardless of their age. These particular people, everybody, if you are in a particular office, you must deliver. However, if you have been in power for a certain, for a longer period compared to somebody who has not been there, I'll expect more from you, because that means you had resources, okay, for a longer period of time compared to this other person, okay? So I'll expect a lot more from you. I'll expect, I'll also expect a lot of accountability, okay? I'll expect a lot of development from you. I'll expect you to be in a position to mentor and all that. So depending on if these particular people have been in office together, if both of them have been in office for a certain period of time, then we expect the same things for all of them, regardless of their ages. When you get to an office, there's a mandate for that particular office. Deliver it regardless of your age.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Your time is very much appreciated for coming here and talking about matters to do with generational leadership in the country. That has been Nelson Njiro, who is a politician, a political and governance expert, and also Sakawa Obengi, who is a youth leader within the Jubilee Party. This has been Future Voices. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mike Megwe. Up next is Vivian Degwa with Entertainment Thursday. Stay with us.
You can't be so impulsive. You're still young, and your mom is... Please listen to your mom, okay?
Fine. Go. All right, just go.
You know what kind of person I am. If you don't tell, I'll find out myself.
Mama Joseph, I really am okay. Really, I'm fine.
Wiki hii kwenye mkulima tunavuna French beans. Kisha tunaangazia upanzi ama kilimo cha mboga za asili.
Kilimo sio mbaya. Kilimo iko na ina manufaa sababu ina pesa. Ukilima na ulime vile chakula inatakiwa kupandwa, weke mbolea, weke kila kitu. Kama wewe ni mwanzilishi, utaona faida na utaona utatoka bure.
Ungana nasi Jumamosi hii saa 10:30 hapa KBC Channel 1
kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo.
What is so where is the balance between what's a good decision and what's a godly decision?
Parents or like mentors or pastors, they're older than us, so they've experienced more than what we have. So when they tend to give us those advice or decisions to make.
He felt bad after because the decision isn't good in the end, because God's decisions are always good, so we should always follow them.
If it's good according to the standards of the world, then it is not necessarily godly.
I think our environment and things we interact with, like social media and friends, they most of the times influence the kind of decisions that we make.
slow one drop. Turn it up low to the top non-stop. Play some mash up when the tune them drop. Turn it up low to the top non-stop. Play some mash up when the tune them drop. Turn it up low to the top non-stop. Play some mash up when the tune them drop. Whole place back from the front to the back. When we are party, the thing never happens.
mapenzi napokea, kiwewe cha mapenzi nadekezwa, kwenye dhamani ya moyo umeniweka, nitaichunga rasilimali, mapona mali kuteketeza, na wala si utani, baby si utani, kwa kweli umenikweza wewe my love, ladha yako sharubati my darling, kwa kila engo umeniweza napata roho, oh my baby jiggy 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 nae jiggy 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 nae jiggy 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 nae, oh my baby jiggy 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 nae jiggy 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 nae jiggy 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 nae, aji 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 wendo nuru laini, tumekolea pezini, hata wakisema tusiki tunawagasa, ona penzi letu livo laini, limenyoka tititi, hasa hapa mitio na faidi, vita visharukani losima yaya mukule 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 umbilengo omaye sana.
And this is how we get to start off Entertainment Thursday today. And we have the one and only Mr. Dawoop. Hi, mambo vipi?
Poa sana kwaje?
Uko mzima kabisa?
Kama unavyoniona.
Mambo yote freshi?
Bana freshi sana.
Naona umekuja unang'ang'aa tu.
Kama kawaida, si unajua mambo yangu tena.
Kwa wale ambao wanakuona kwa mara ya kwanza, weza ukajiintroduce, uelezee Mr. Dawa nani, anafanya nini?
Okay. Mr. Dawa ni msanii hapa hapa Kenya. Kwa majina yangu wazazi kamili naitwa David Wanyonyi. Sasa Mr. Dawa bado ni my name. As in DAWA. David Wanyonyi. Mr. Dawa ni msanii hapa hapa Kenya. Mr. Dawa ni msanii toka Trans Nzoia. Na represent Trans Nzoia. That is my home ground. Kama kawaida.
Kama Dawa.
Yeah.
Sasa umesema majina yako kamili ya ID, nikaona watu kule wamecheka. Nadhani walikuwa wanafikiria wewe ni Rashid fulani, unajua sababu ya Kiswahili chako.
So unajua okay, malezi tuseme mi toka zamani nilikuwa najua kama Mombasa ndio nyumbani, ila mimi nimezaliwa Trans Nzoia. Yeah.
Alright.
So tumejipata huko unajua na wazee, so toka kidogo huko unaona. Lakini nyumbani ni nyumbani tu Trans Nzoia. Yeah.
Umekuzwa Mombasani.
Yeah, ndio.
Yeah. All right, so Mr. Dawa, the last time you were here I think was sometime last year, sijui kama mwezi wa 7.
Mbalimbali
mwezi wa 6 huko last year. So tangia wakati huo mpaka sasa hivi, what has been happening with Mr. Dawa?
Okay, Mr. Dawa amekuwa kwa changamoto nyingi, especially changamoto za muziki, changamoto za biashara na mambo mengi tu. Mr. Dawa amekuwa akifanya muziki, Mr. Dawa amekuwa akifanya biashara, Mr. Dawa amekuwa akisafiri, amekuwa na mambo mengi sana. Mr. Dawa amekuwa akisafiri nje ya nchi. Mr. Dawa amekuwa na mambo mengi, yani kama kawaida, unajua binadamu lazima ujitume ndio mambo mengine aende. Yeah.
Kisafiri nje ya nchi, ulikuwa unasafiri mambo ya muziki
ama muziki, yeah. Muziki unajua kwa ground mambo ni tofauti.
Yeah. Kuna mtu akiangalia nikiangalia kwenye Instagram yako kuna picha fulani hapo. Sijui kama ni AI ama ni picha ya kweli. Wajua siku hizi huwezi kujua. You don't know how this AI is all over. So you see a picture, you're not sure is this really AI or is it AI or it's an actual picture. So kuna picha fulani hapo umepiga ukiwa uko Wasafi, alafu unasalimiana na Diamond Platnumz. So is that AI or is it an actual picture?
Ni kitu kweli. Yeah. Kuna rafiki yangu ameniconnect, nilienda kutembea, unajua hapa Tanzania si niko marafiki zetu tu, kwa nimeenda kutembea, niko kwa harakati za biashara. Mzazi akaniconnect. Si unajua mzazi William Tuva. Yeah. Akaniconnect, nikakutana na kaka, story tu kidogo, alafu ndio kawa hivyo.
So kuna kazi zozote ambazo ulikuwa unaenda kurekodi kule Wasafi Records or?
Yeah, niko kwa harakati, maana unajua si rahisi sana wale ndugu zangu, unajua wale wako na mikataba na kwa na ratiba ya muziki. So mwisho wa siku ipo tu, itakuja, utaiona, maana yake sisi tuko kwa mtandao, utakutana naye.
Kwa hivyo kuna kazi hapa na pale ambazo bado ziko jikoni.
Ndio.
Alright. So kuna ile nyimbo ambayo tumeweza kuingia nalo ama nayo yaitwa Jigi Jigi. So tueleze kuhusu Jigi Jigi.
Jigi Jigi is just a song, ni vibe tu. Just idea ya studio. Jigi Jigi ni vibe tu, yani vibe ya kujirusha. Unajua kwa Kiswahili vya mtaa, kwa Kiswahili vya mtaa Jigi Jigi inamaanisha kujirusha tu, yani ni vibe tu ya mtaa.
Jigi Jigi ni jina ambalo linamaanisha vibe.
Vibe tu, ni vibe tu ya vibe ya kujirusha. Labda tunaibeba kwa njia nyingine lakini ni hivyo.
So how did it come about? What was happening when you were writing that song? Just tell me more about.
Okay. Unajua mimi na studio mwanzo kwa nyumba. Just an idea. Unajua idea Jigi Jigi watu waga wanaitumia sana sana, inatumia na ndugu zetu wa Wahindi. Jigi Jigi just a vibe, yani style fulani ya muziki hivi. Sasa kwa hiyo harakati ilikuja tu, nikasema ni poa, wacha tuwekele bana. Producer akasema piga kitu hapa, akapiga, alafu ndio ikawa vibe ikatoka, ikawa. But just a love song.
It's a love song. Kuna mtu specific ambaye anaimbiwa ama?
Unajua muziki sasa hivi bwana, muziki yani imekuwa ni kubwa sana. Hakuna mtu specific naimbia. Naimba, tunajua watu wengi hapa nje kwa mapenzi. So atakaenda nayo basi naende nayo hivyo. Maana yake style ni nyingi na mambo ni mengi.
Yeah. So whoever it relates to, then just go with the vibe.
Yeah.
All right, it's a beautiful song. It's a really amazing song. So when you mentioned you have a studio in the house.
Yeah.
So wewe wakati wowote tu waweza kutengeza muziki?
Mi time yote mimi naweza tengeza muziki. Kiamka usiku, Marwani akipanda usiku mida saa 8 usiku tunaamka nalo. Asubuhi tunaamka nalo. Hiyo maana yake si iko tu. Yeah.
So do you mean that you also produce your own songs, ama ukiwa wataka kurekodi wamtafuta producer anakuja, ama how do you go about it?
Mara nyingi mfanya hivi, sinajirekodi mwenyewe. Niko na producer ambaye anaitwa Riga Juma. Alafu niko na producer wangu ambaye anaitwa Denzel. Sasa Riga Juma huwa anatengenezea track. Sasa kisha nitengeneza track ananitumia. Najirekodi mwenyewe. Nikishamaliza kujirekodi namuita Denzel anakuja, anafanya mastering, story inaisha. Alafu muziki unatoka mjini. Yeah.
So for most of your productions or most of your songs, that's how you go about it. Even though
nyimbo zote. Labda tuseme kama na nyimbo, mimi ni songwriter na bado ni kama naona nyimbo hii kuna venye inaenda, waga naita vijana. Kuna vijana na maidea hapa nje kalikali sana, kuja tuna combine alafu tunafanya muziki. Sasa nyimbo zangu zote waga zinaenda hivyo. Yeah.
So nyimbo zako zote huwa work na how producers wawili ambao
niko na producer tofauti. Okay, kuna vijana nimementa kwa ground Kuna vijana walikuja wakitaka kusaidia wakiwa wasanii, alafu mwisho wa siku wakaja kwa studio yangu na wakawa maproducer. Kwa hiyo niko na wengi sana, si wawili nimemention, niko na wengi. Mwenye nataka naita niko na kama 5 wote ambao nimementa sahihi. Yeah. Najua mimi ni baba mzazi wa muziki, nasema nimelelea vipaji, nashukuru sana maana si rahisi.
Yeah. Kwa hiyo kwa msanii ambaye kwa wasanii ambao wanafanya muziki, mara nyingi ni vizuri ukiwa na producer ambaye umezoea kufanya kazi naye. Na umuhimu wake ni upi? Kuwa kuna hao 5 ambao unajua huwa unafanya kazi nao, lakini producers ni wengi tu. So inafikaje kuwa msanii anaamua huyu ndo producer ambaye na feel naweza kufanya kazi naye?
Unajua sahi kwa ground kuna kitu inaitwa sound. Unasikia? Kuna sound ukisikiza nikaa imepigwa ndani ya mikebe, yani haieleweki. Lakini kuna sound ukisikiza producer ambao umemzoea akikupigia hapa nje unasikia kweli iko. Niko na producer ambao niko nao nafanya nao, lakini kuna mwenye nimeaminia anaitwa Denzel. Denzel anafanya kitu mzuri, anapiga. Unasikia kweli hapa vocal iko vizuri, unasikia track iko vizuri, yani kila kitu inaendana nayo, unaona? Sasa mwisho wa siku unapata unaamini yule ambao umemzoea. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Mr. Dawa, tunatarajia pengine album kutoka kwako karibuni, ama unapanga vipi?
Kama wangesema eti kuwa na nyimbo ni utajiri, mimi ningekuwa trilionea, hata si bilionea yake. Manyimbo nayo nyingi sana yani. So maalbum kibao, manyimbo, yani mimi sinanga nyimbo mpya. Nyimbo kila siku. Yeah. So ni hivyo, yani sina ugumu wa kurekodi, sina ugumu wa kufanya video, kila kitu niko nayo iko available. So mimi kila wakati ni kazi tu. Yeah.
Kwa hiyo mwaka huu tutarajia nini kutoka kwa Mr. Dawa?
Tarajieni mengi kutoka kwa Mr. Dawa, tarajieni makolabo, tarajieni mpaka international collabo, niko na marafiki. Yani tarajieni vitu vingi sana kutoka kwa Mr. Dawa. Mr. Dawa si msanii wa nchini hapa. Mr. Dawa ni msanii wa dunia mzima. Kwa hiyo ni kama vibe, tunajua watu wanasema huyu anaongea, lakini naongelea vitu ambavyo najua nimeenda wapi, najua nimefika wapi kwa viongo vyangu. So mwisho wa siku tarajieni mengi sana kutoka kwa Mr. Dawa mwaka na mtafurahi. Yeah.
Kwa nini ulivyosema una nyimbo nyingi tu, kwa manake una rekodi karibia kila siku?
Ndio.
Kwa hivyo mbona haufanyi like album? Unaamua unatoa singles?
Unajua kuna watu waga hawapendi michosho. Nikisema michosho, watu wapendi kuchoka. Watu wapendi kuchoka. Watu wengi sana wapendi kuchoka. Ndio maana saa zamani ilikuwaga mtu kirekodi nyimbo unafanya nyimbo inaenda kama 4 minutes. Siku hizi nyimbo ndefu sana inaenda kama 2 minutes. Watu wapendi kuchoka. That's why DJ akicheza nyimbo hapo anacheza only 2 minutes ama 1.5. Sasa ukianza kupeana maalbum kwa mafans utapata ndio nyimbo moja ndio imesikizwa, zingine zimelengwa. Unapata hata zingine hata ina view hivyo. That's why I prefer napeana single single ndio watu wasiwe na michosho. Watu tupende kuchoka akili na mambo mengi, unaona. Sasa na prefer single. Single iko vizuri sana. Ukitoa album ni kama ni waste tu, hata ina haja. Ile nyimbo ambayo ingekuwa ni hit, so unapata itapotelea hapo ndani, hakuna mahali inaenda.
So that's the reason why you opt to just release them as singles
moja
badala ya kufanya kama a whole project like one like a work of art ikiwa moja.
Ndio.
Na unaamua vipi kuwa hii nyimbo ndio itatoka sasa hivi? Collab ambazo unasema umefanya, international ones ambazo bado umeziweka tu mahali. Unafika wakati upi ambao unaamua sasa huu wimbo wakati wake ni huu?
Unajua, mimi nakuwa na mambo mengi sana. Nakuwa na changamoto nyingi za biashara, mambo mengi sana ambayo nimeshika. Alafu pia nakuwa na timu yangu. Kabla nitoe nyimbo, naambia ngao na vipi, unasikiaje bwana? Nyimbo ndio hizi hapa, tufanyaje? Nakwambia utatoa siku fulani, maana yake huwezi panga peke yako. Taharibu. Sasa nina watu wengi ambao tuko kwa ground, na kabla nitoe nyimbo na watu tumepanga nao, nasema hii ndio itatoka hii, siku hii itatoka siku hii. Tukisema unafanya pia unatoa nyimbo kila siku. Eti leo niko na nyimbo mpya, kesho niko na nyimbo mpya, watu watakuelewa, wataona kachanganyikiwa huyu, kwa watu watakusikiza.
Inabidi unapatia nyimbo wakati wake.
Watu waisikize na vibe, bila wakienda wakisikia wanachoka, unawapa nyingine.
Kwa hivyo you deciding that this is the song that will be coming out this season, wewe umeketi na watu kadhaa wakapata kusikiliza, wakaamua this is the one. Kwa hiyo ni muhimu sana msanii kuwa na team.
Lazima uwe na team.
Huwezi kufanya kazi peke yako.
Na kila county lazima uwe na watu wako. Maana utajisikiza mwenyewe. Wewe utakuwa famous mwenyewe na hivyo. Lakini mwisho wa siku lazima kila sehemu huko na watu. Kama ni Trans Nzoia uko na watu 10, kienda Mombasa, kienda kule Nyanza, wapi kuna watu wako na DJ. So unapata ukitoa nyimbo yuko kila mahali.
So is this something you do intentionally? So do you go across the country to ensure hapa niko na watu fulani, hapa
niko natembea.
Unaenda kote kwa
naenda kote natembea, na kisha natembea kila mahali niko na rafiki. Lazima nitembee kule kote niende. Muziki si rahisi vile watu wanafikiria. Utajisikiza mwenyewe na utahiti mwenyewe hapo kwa nyumbani kwako. Tutakuwa na marafiki waambia maana wewe mkali. Ule jaba base wewe mkali, utahiti huko tayari. Lakini lazima utembee. Muziki lazima uwekeze. Muziki lazima, muziki na mambo mengi sana. Taka hela. Bila hela baba, mama ashauri yako utakoma wewe.
Nakuwa noma. Alright, so as we finalize, tumekuwa na free majuzi imefanyika kule Nigeria. Kuko na wasanii wengi wa Kenya ambao walipata kuleta tuzo nyumbani. Alafu pia kuna Grammys ambazo zinakuja in February. Kwa just from your point of view, what do you think needs to be done by Kenyan artists, or what is needed for us to have artists, our artists go out there and bring those trophies home?
Kikubwa sana ambacho mimi ningependa kuongea labda, wajua Kiswahili ni lugha ya nyumbani tukatai. Pia kuna Kiingereza pia ni lugha ya nyumbani tukatai. Unapata wa Kenya zile vitu wanaimba mazato mwenyewe zielewa. Maana mimi nasikizanga ni vibe tunasikianga tunapigwa beat inapigwa hapo mzuri sana, lakini Wakenya wanaimba mambo mengine mimi sielewi. Sijui kama unajua Bien ndio example yetu. Bien anaimba ile vitu ambayo inaeleweka. Ukisikia kiimba kwa unajua kaka anaimba huyu. Anaimba hata kwenda international. Lakini wasanii wa Kenya samani kusema wasanii wa Kenya wanaimba bora asikike ni famous. Hapo nyumbani kwao, kama sasa nitakuhiti Nairobi na kwingine. Alafu ile vitu wanaimba hata uwezi elewa nini wanaimba. Unaelewa nini wanaimba? Tuongee ukweli, unasikia wanaimba nini?
Kama si vitu zingine. Pengine wataje, uniulize huyu mtu fulani wewe unamuelewa kweli?
Sasa sisi wataja, unajua tutakuharibu mafans. Hao ndugu zangu mimi wanaimba vitu vingine mimi sielewi. Kama ni Kiswahili, imba Kiswahili watu wakuelewe. Kama ni Kiingereza, imba Kiingereza watu wakuelewe, si ndio? Lakini sasa umechanganya sijui ni Kiswahili, sijui ni Kiingereza, hata sijui ni nini, hata mimi sielewangi. Mimi nasikiza nasema ndio twende na vibe. DJ anapiga vibe tunaenda nayo, lakini hatuelewa anaimba nini. Ukienda kupeleka kwa Tanzania wenzetu, kwa Tanzania, ukipeleka kwa Waganda, ukipeleka Majuu watasema what is this thing? Hawazo utaelewa unaimba vitu gani. Sasa uko na uhakika utaletea awadi kwa nyumbani kwenu. Imba kitu ambacho inaeleweka. Hata mtu akienda kwa ChatGPT akiweka, ama akienda kwa mtandao akiweka easy words zimeimbwa nini, itaeleweka kaka kaimba hivi. Lakini sasa unaimba mambo mengine ambayo haeleweki. Tume mambo kitandana na jikoni jamani taeleweka. Yes bwana hii na kweli kasoro sana.
Kuweka shag nyingi na kwa blanda.
Sasa ukienda Kayole ati kuna Kiswahili yao. Sisi tukienda wapi ati yani kila mahali kuna mavitu mimi sielewagi beda ndugu zangu.
Ndio culture yetu hiyo.
Sawa culture lakini bwana tuimbe vitu ambavyo inaeleweka ndio Kenya at least tufike sehemu. Watanzania wanakuja wanatupita, Waganda wanakuja wanatupita mbona? Kwa sababu sisi tunaimba mambo yetu ambayo yaeleweki. Waganda wakiimba wanaimba Kiganda kweli, wanaimba kikwao, umeona Maana Kiganda ni lugha ya taifa na Kiingereza. Kiingereza wanaimba Kiingereza unaelewa. Sasa jamani, si wa Kenya tukienda na huo mtindo, tahiti tu Kenya peke yake. Tuhiti Kenya basi na tubaki hivyo na tu hivyo.
What do you think, Cosmic?
Well, amesema ukweli hapo, unaweza sema sometimes atuelewi ile kitu anasema, but pia most other countries wanafanyanga the same. But the biggest issue yenye tuko nayo Kenya, we don't support our own people. We rather support mtu wa nje than mtu wa huku. I can give an example. There's this genre called Machinkuwa Meimba. Inachezangwa kila saa huku Kenya. Lakini saa yetu tunacheza ngoma za Tanzania, tunacheza ngoma ya Nigeria. Kwanza hata za Burna Boy hautaelewa ile kitu anasema. The same thing vile umesema. But niyo support pia, but umesema ukweli. Tunafaa kumix English na lugha yetu. Tuonyeshe culture yetu kidogo, pia tukiwaonyesha like pia tunajua kuongea Kizungu kidogo.
So una feel it's the support that is a miss.
The support is the miss and the language barrier. That's hizo mbili, but the major thing is the support. We need to support our own people.
But I feel like nowadays Kenyans actually really support our musicians. No? Ama bado si 100%.
Si 100%.
Tuko percentage.
Ukienda kwa kilabu ile benga inapigwa pale kinaija.
Ai come on guys.
Tanzania Diamond anacheza kuanzia mwanzo mpaka mwisho, so utaitilini jamani. Diamond alishaiti kitabu.
Mimi kwanza I'm guilty for that. Mimi naweza kubali. Mimi nichezanga nikifika klabu ama piano kwanza saizi kuna 3 step. Mimi napenda hiyo. Hiyo lazima nicheze kila saa. But ni makosa yetu tu. Unafaa kutusamehea tu. Jue tunajaribu.
Okay, but I don't know, maybe the people back at home can weigh in on this. I feel like nowadays Kenyans really do support their own musicians. Like tunasikiza ngoma za Kenya nyingi. Juzi when people were doing their Spotify rap nyingi zilikuwa na Kenyan musicians in there, and like kitambo mtu alikuwa anaonyesha Spotify rap yake hakuna hata musician mmoja wa Kenya. But now you see kuna 3 artists from Kenya and whatnot. But anyway, there's always room for improvement. We can always do better, but I feel like when it comes to support, we are at around 80%. So we're not very far off.
Not there. Not there completely.
Tuko sawa. Hatuko mbaya vile.
Tutafika tu. Ndipo tutapeana support na timba za vitu ambavyo vinaeleweka. Tatizo tutafika.
Okay.
Si ngumu.
So Mr. Dawa, kwa wale ambao wanataka kuendelea kukufuatilia, wapate kujua wakati ambao unatoa nyimbo mpya, where do they get to find you?
Okay. Kama kawaida unajua kuna channel yetu kubwa sana, tuingia YouTube. YouTube Mr. Dawa. Tukija pale TikTok Mr. Dawa. FB ni follow tu Mr. Dawa. Mzee na mambo mengi sana kuongea na vitu vingi sana vya kufanya. Na wasanii ambao ni upcoming nilisema nilikuwa nataka kuwasaidia mwaka, maana Karo kamerejea. Yule
Karo
kamerejea ule mwanzo wa commercial heartbreak wale wasanii. Wasanii wana vituka, yani wana michosho, wasanii wanachosha sana yani. Useme kuwasaidia unachoka tu wewe. Lakini sasa hivi nimesema Karo kamerejea. Tutasaidia tu, sina shida. Enjoy my FB, follow Instagram Mr. Dawa, FB Mr. Dawa. Kama unataka kuongea na mimi zaidi, nifuate tu pale kwa my page, tutapiga story. Maana yake mimi na mambo mengi na vitu vingi vya kufanya. Nasema hii dunia connection ndio kitu kikubwa. Sasa connection kidogo ninayo na vitu vya kufanya muziki ninavyo, so wasanii wadogo ambao wanaanza. Alafu usije hata wewe mwenyewe sana, hata wasanii na pia hata waeleweki. Wewe unakuja kwangu unataka nikusaidia, alafu mwisho wa siku hata una mwelekeo, hata hujui unaimba nini. Tafadhali usije.
Wamekuchosha.
Kama unajua unaimba nini njoo, mimi nitakusaidia, mimi sina shida. Tutapiga story na tutaelewana. Mimi sinaga kuignore mtu. Ukinipigia simu nitakusikiza na tutafanya kazi. Kwa hiyo kila platform Mr. Dawa.
Alright, so si tuimbie kidogo ukitupeleka kwenye break. Uimbe kidogo alafu
sasa nyimbo gani, ama kuna nyimbo ambayo inafuata inaitwaje maana
Jigi Jigi?
Jigi Jigi. Hata hiyo tumecheza. Kama kupe.
Kama kupe.
Ai.
Hii ni
kidogo tu alafu DJ aichukue.
Juk moko boe nalali nandako osangi mbongo bongo ya bishu na emisio nazara mbongo te esherio fasi osiliki nangai ola msakaga kama kawaida Mr. Dawa kama dawa. Wanangu, tukutane kwenye mtandao, kila kitu poa, shwari bomba kama kawaida. Aisaidia nipe.
Fanya unavyotaka. Umesahau kuwa mimi sio mfasi wako. Na leo sitaki kujua.
Kijana, sikujua kile kifaa ulicho nacho.
Sawa? Mbona sikuelewi?
Umekitaji hapa. Nazungumzia kuhusu nini?
Umesemaje? Kama ni kunipokea nimezoea. Ni mwiko kwako wewe hata kumpenda mwanangu. Sina la kusema.
Tunapiga mbizi maridadi zaidi tukiwa basi na wadau hawa.
Mwamfahamu punda, nasi yeye ni mnyama. Mbona umtese punda, si ana mwili wa nyama. Nimejiwezi na word ya western world ilionifunza Instagram.
Upande wangu nasimama kidete kama chuma la pua ili kuunga mkono mada inayosema kuwa elimu bila malipo inaongeza ubora wa elimu.
Hii ni kwa sababu wakati wanafunzi wanapata fursa ya kwenda kusoma bila kulipa karo, wao hupata nafasi ya kutimiza ndoto zao na kuwa watu wa maana katika maisha yao ya baadaye.
Tunga sentensi yoyote ile kwa kuzingatia kivumishi. Sifa tasa.
Mama yake aliyekuwa tasa alituzwa kwa unyenyekevu wake.
Mr. Dawa Babinga nga PDG kijana wa mjini. What's up baby? Oh chérie, c'est bien que je t'aime. Et tu sais dans la vie, surtout il n'y a de très passion car. to be feeling. She the only one. Maybe you got a dinner. Open the door, kiss her like a winner. Ooh, mamma mia. Turn off the lights when they give you a camera. Say, ah, yeah. Make her relax, better make her relax. Ah, yeah. Tell her no lies, better tell her no lies. Ah, yeah. Make her relax, better make her relax. Ah, yeah. Tell her no lies, better tell her no lies. When I'm see you, my God. And I shoot outside. See you, my God.
Wakula bulungi mbadde sikulabangako oyogera bulungi ne bokabo bange naseka yengo mwagalwa w'abangi nange wankuba ekigwo bwe mba sikulabyeko nsaanuka nzigwerera bakuteeka mu ki kye batassa mu balala bakulunga mu ki wankola akakyako nesirabanga balala wannunga mu ki.
Everybody pause. Me a fear run. Me a see a dance and balance sing along. She got a one, me a say me a feel it. She wanna one, me a say me a give it. Me got a.
All right, and Entertainment Thursday gets to continue. Thank you for staying with us. This is where you get to have yourself an amazing, amazing, amazing Thursday morning. This is the only way to start off your morning. Now, right now, this next interview, we will be talking about film, filmmaking, and just us telling our own stories as Africans. And I have with me an African filmmaker. Yes, African, underline the African, an African filmmaker. Her name is Nyasha, and she's here to just talk to us about her journey in the filmmaking industry and what they are showing right now and where exactly you can go and watch some of these films and the documentaries that they get to make. So allow me to introduce her. Welcome to the program. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well, thanks.
You're doing well.
Yeah.
All right, talk to me about Nyasha. Tell me more about Nyasha and why specifically that African filmmaker.
So originally I am from Zimbabwe and I am a proud Zimbabwean, but I've lived in other African countries, South Africa for a long time, and now in Kenya has been my home. And I don't know, I think African for me is really important because the labels that we give each other with countries and the borders that were created by a handful of white men who were colonizing the continent at the time.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes these barriers are used to divide us. And I think as Africans, we need to be more united and work together. And so I prefer to consider myself as a Pan-African, a person who anywhere in Africa is home.
Where did your love for film first come in? Or rather, tell me your earliest memories of film.
I remember, and I think a lot of people used to have this, where every weekend we would go to this place where you could rent out cassettes to watch the VHS tapes, and I would always watch the same ones with my mom. So my mom would get one and then I would get one, and it was that weekend ritual, that special thing. But my favorite memories were actually of a drive-through that we used to have in my hometown in Bulawayo. And we used to go there. My mom would make us macaroni and cheese and would eat in like recycled ice cream tubs. And we would watch movies, and I remember watching Home Alone there and Mrs. Doubtfire, and those are some of my favorite memories, like on a big screen, but also with the comfort of like your mom and home-cooked food.
Those are your earliest memories when it comes to Matu's film. So when did you first decide that I actually want to become a filmmaker? What was that, point for you?
Well, it took a while because my first degree when I went to university was in finance. And I studied finance, I started working as a consultant. But at the university, I had been part of the student newspaper, so I knew there was this thing in me that it could make me great in conversation, but it wouldn't make me good at the job I had been hired to do. And I was like, I think I need a new job.
Wow.
And And so I decided to apply for my master's in journalism and documentary making. And then I think from the moment I picked up a camera, I knew that it would be film versus like print or radio or something else.
How long ago was that?
That was now, the change was in 2014. Yeah.
So since then, now you got into this space fully. How has it been like, and how is it, you know, just being that African filmmaker, getting to tell our own stories? Has that been easy for you? Has it been challenging? Just let us in on all of that.
Definitely ups and downs. When I started my career, I was actually living in New York. And under the advisement of a few people, they're like, if you really want to do something and sort of make it, you need to go back home. Home being Africa, and I decided to come to Kenya because I had an opportunity to also work in Sudan, and so that's how I moved to Nairobi. And then since then, it's been a lot of happy circumstances. Obviously, hustling as a freelancer, which I'm still today, can be very tough. We live in a two worlds, feast or famine. So, and it's unpredictable when the feast is and when the famine is going to be. So even if you try and plan, things can change. But I've managed to travel to so many African countries, almost now 25. I hope to go to all 54 by the time I live my full life. And everywhere I've gone, I feel like people always think I'm a local or treat me like a local. And it's just heartwarming to see how people are so much more receptive to seeing someone who looks like them, trying to do the work and tell their stories. People are so ready to open up and so happy to share. And I work in documentary, which requires a lot of people to be vulnerable about their own stories and share their secrets, things that they might not even have told anybody else. But every day I'm pleasantly surprised as to how people are willing to do that with me.
Yeah, I love the fact that you said, you know, you've gone across all these African countries, 25,
I think,
yeah, 25 of them, and every time you're there, you don't feel like, you feel like you're part of those communities. You feel like you're one of them in every country that you've been in. And I mean, if you don't mention that you're not from Kenya, I could bet no one would have pointed out that she's not Kenyan. You just look Kenyan, and that's the beauty of Africa and Africans. Like, we are just one. We are one and the same thing. You cannot tell that this one is from West Africa, this one is from, unless they mention, or maybe if they have the accent, then maybe you can tell. But that's the beauty of us. And I love the fact that you are going around all these countries and telling the stories from those particular countries. So, is there a specific intention of you deciding, I will go to all these countries, and every country I go to, I'm doing something from there?
Well, it's a bit of a mix of opportunity. People hire me as a freelancer to go and film in different areas, and then sometimes you see a story and you say, okay, I want to go and discover more and look into that, or I feel like I'm not hearing anything from there. Who can I work with who's from this area or this country to tell a story? So it's usually different. In some cases, I've just decided I want to go and see this country for myself. So I also am a big fan of, when you do have your spare coins, to go on holiday around Africa instead of saving it to go overseas. Go visit the country next door. So there are times, last year I had an assignment, a job in Ghana, and then I decided to extend my flight and then take a bus to Togo, which is 3 hours away, and go and see for 2 days what it's like. And people are always like, oh, you're from here. Okay, that's really far away. Okay, cool, welcome. You know, so it's always nice.
Yeah. And right now, the talk of town, the talk of the continent, and the talk of the larger social media platforms has been Aisha Speed, who was in the country, I think, a day ago or 2 days ago, and right now he's on a tour. He's touring Africa, and the conversation that has been coming out of that is that we don't seem to have told enough of our stories, of who we are, because now most people from outside the continent are experiencing Africa from his lens, you know, are getting to know, oh wow, Africa is not what we have been told it is, you know. Africa is not just poverty. Africa is not just some, you know, poor continent and without culture and all of that. So they are getting to experience it now. So maybe what is amiss, or aren't we doing enough to tell our own stories?
I think people are working, but there's a lot of undoing that we have to do, because I think even our education structures, the way we've learned, even as Africans, we don't know enough about each other, let alone someone like Aisho Speed, who's coming from the States. So, you know, in the States, they don't learn much about Africa. They're quite ignorant to what happens on the continent. And even, you know, people will say Africa's a country when it's not. But I found that sometimes we also have those misconceptions about those places where people will know one or two headlines about your country, and then they will stick with those headlines. So, and you're more than that. And sometimes, you know, it's a nice stereotype or a thing, but sometimes you're like, there's more to a place. People will say to me, oh, you live in Kenya, you know? Everyone's really tall because the Maasai, you know? And I'm like, there's a lot more to Kenya than the Maasai, right? Or wildlife. I come from Zimbabwe. We went through a really bad economic period where the inflation was crazy. So people will often meet me and say, oh, but aren't you $1 trillion person, or aren't you a billionaire? And I'm like, haha, but no, you know? And I think even as Africans, we definitely need to do a lot more work to see behind the own stereotypes that we put against each other. And a lot of that has to do with travel and exposing ourselves to different cultures, whether it's through movies, through music, through podcasts, entertainment, because that's where you can really sort of like travel in your mind, through books. That's where you can discover different places and also see how what someone is experiencing in Senegal or in Zambia could be very similar to the experience that you're experiencing right now.
All right, let's talk about what you are actually promoting right now, and that is Matabeleland. Tell me about it. What is it all about? It's a documentary. Let us in on it.
So Matabeleland is a very personal film. It's a film that is from my home country, Zimbabwe, and the region that I grew up in, the south part. So you can say the province area is called Matabeleland. And it's a personal story about a man called Chris who's really struggling with his connections in life. He's struggling to commit to his girlfriend who loves him but really wants him to commit. And he's also struggling with his relationships with his many kids, and he's having troubles at work. And all of this is happening while he's working very hard as an immigrant in Botswana, the neighboring country to Zimbabwe. And he feels all of this is happening because his father's not buried in the right place. And you know, as Africans, the importance of how we bury and where we bury people is very important. So his father was never buried in the right place because his father was killed in the 80s in a genocide called Gukurahundi. Over a 5-year period, 20,000 people were killed. But now when we have a change in government in 2017, 2018, then Chris decides, this is my opportunity. Now I can actually do something. So he goes to look for his father's remains more than 30 years later, finds his father to rebury him, hoping that that will give him the ability to get some closure and to move on in his life, to, you know, commit to the woman that really, really loves him, to connect with his kids, to feel like he's done something as, you know, the father. But more personally, people tend to think that it's going to be this political documentary and your typical, this is what happened in 1983, and it's really not that kind of a film. It's a very personal story about a man in his 60s with his girlfriend who really loves him. They have a lot of banter between the two of them. He doesn't want her to take her home just yet. As you know, I think a lot of people watching this know, like, for a man to take you home to his family is a very big deal. So this is like this looming conversation in the film, which eventually finally happens. The film is also about, you know, a very hard-working man who struggles to be vulnerable. And I think when people have come to watch this film, they often say that this character reminds me of my uncle, this character reminds me of my dad, or the film has so many simple scenes of just people cooking ugali at home and having dinner, you know, and the conversations that happen around. It's a very everyday kind of film that just happens to have this sort of political context in the backdrop, but it's more of a very personal film about him and his relationship with his girlfriend.
What would you want people to get out of that documentary? You know, for those who will come to watch it, what would you want someone to take home?
I think, you know, it's funny, when we made the film, we had very specific intentions. For me, I really wanted the people who called Matabeleland home to feel seen and acknowledged, to feel recognized. But I've heard people, even Kenyans who've gone to see the film this month or last year when we premiered at NBO Fest, say this film is like a mirror to like an African existence, to a very specific type of person, a hardworking person, a faithful person, a person who's really trying the best to do something for their families but is struggling. For some people, I think they've seen themselves in the relationships, the dynamics. I've heard even very young people be like, "Ooh, this relationship's a bit triggering for me," because of a relationship where there was unrequited love. I think for a lot of people, it's been an eye-opener to a region that they don't know anything about or they haven't heard much about, but it's a very personal take on this place.
Yeah, and you mentioned you premiered at the NBO Film Festival, which is an amazing, amazing festival, right? So what's the importance of us having more of such spaces where we can have different filmmakers from around the globe to just come in one, you know, in one place and get to showcase what they've done?
It's extremely important to have festivals like NBO Film Fest, opportunities for people to gather and to watch films. What's really great about a festival like NBO Film Fest is that it centers on films about Black people, about Africans. That's like the core at its identity. And so they focus on looking at films, whether it's from Latin America or overseas, but that center around people who look like you and I. And I think that opportunity is rare, because often when I meet people, they'll say, "Oh, I went on to Netflix, but you know, I saw like maybe a couple of South African films and a couple of Nigerian films, but I haven't seen anything from here." A film festival is the kind of place where you get to go see a film that's made in a place you've never heard of. And I also think communal watching, which we've lost a little bit with video on demand, something about sitting in the cinema, which kind of reminds me of my experiences of going to the drive-thru, is so communal in how you experience a film. There are things you will laugh at more when you're in community with other people than if you're by yourself at home. And if there's a scene that's really sad and you start to cry, everybody feels the heaviness of that scene. There's something so beautiful about cinema, and I think festivals like NBO Fest have really done a good job of trying to reach out to people, and also even in the locations that they've chosen to show the film. There was a screening in Kaloleni, screenings in Kaloleni Social Hall, really bringing the film out to the community, and I think it's only growing. So I think those festivals are really, really important, especially for us Africans.
For sure. So for those who would want to come out and get to watch Matabeleland, where is it showing and when?
So right now you can watch Matabeleland at Unseen, Nairobi, which is an independent cinema in Kilimani on Wood Avenue. And next month we're going to be showing at Prestige, which is on Gong Road, for 2 weeks. So over the next 4 weeks, I would say you'd be able to watch Matabeleland in the cinemas, either at Unseen or at Prestige.
All right. Your final remarks?
I mean, I'm excited to be on this show. I think even just listening to the artists before, how important it is for us as Africans to consume our work. We've had a really great reception in Kenya towards the film, and I really hope that more people come out and find themselves in the film.
All right, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on the show, and thank you for the work that you're doing as an African filmmaker, just telling our stories across, you know, the continent and across the world as well. We appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
All right, this is where we end this conversation, but Good Morning Kenya Entertainment Thursday still gets to continue. More music coming up, as well as an interview. We'll be looking at the Matatu culture, plus so much more. Don't go too far.
about this? Well, see, he told me that after they divorced, he said he wants to marry me.
But what's all the hurry, son? You barely know the young woman, and now you are marrying her.
I know Lucia well enough to be sure that she is the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with, Mom.
Oh. It's all your fault that this happened. You're the one responsible for what happened to my daughter.
Hello, my love. Have you missed me?
Who is this?
I'm sorry, but am I calling the mobile phone of Mrs. Rebecca Murillo?
And who the heck are you? Give me my phone. Give it to me. My phone, Nora, let it go.
Tell me, Mom, who is that guy on the phone? Why did he call you my love? And why did he ask if you missed him?
Twamchukia nani?
Yaonekana mwamchukia Subira nyinyi.
Mimi na nani?
Wewe na bi mkubwa. Wewe na nani tena mwingine?
Skatai. Mke ni mimi. Mimi ni mke bandia. Mimi nakuulizaje? Katika dunia hii, pembe gani ya dunia ulisikia mume mwenza?
Sasa, kuna ubaya gani mtu akitaka msaidizi?
Msaidizi kwani ana kazi gani ilomlemea? Nataka nishinde hapa nikifanya nini? Hapo basi.
Hapo nini?
Unayataka majibu machafu, wamjua huyu ni kidomo msondo.
Sasa
unayataka mwenyewe majibu machafu.
This project was started in our district in the year 2008, and we donate hands to amputees whose hands are amputated below the elbow, 5 to 6 inches.
Persons with disabilities across the country need to recognize that they are the voice, and their voices need to be heard. Many caregivers feel lonely and require psychosocial support, but they also need to recognize that you cannot fill from an empty cup. You need to be the voice of your child.
I'm gonna call you Lola. I'm going to be your kaka. Nagari alifai kuna toyo. Na tukichoka da twende moro. Usinipe gonjwa la moyo. Cause you them girls and loyal. You die, you feel. You know you're rocking with the best man. And I've been so lonely in my life. But now I can hold on tonight. Cause I decide. Kamata chini, kamatia chini, 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 kama.
I'm gonna call you Coco. I'm gonna be your lolo. Wanifanya niwe kama popo. So many times that I want you, baby. So many times that I want you. 'Cause I've been so lonely in my life, but now I can hold on tonight. 'Cause I decide. 'Cause I decide.
Kamata chini, kamatia chini, 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 kamatia chini, kamatia chini.
Lemons, anavokam, anavocheza drum, anavokata bam. Ninapenda uki dance, cause you have a chance. Basi ya muda ukatike, ukatike, amka ukatike. Tulemanzi anavokam, anavocheza drum, anavokata bam 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 bam. Ninapenda ukidance, cause you have a chance. Basi ya amka ukatike, amka ukatike, amka ukatike, amka ukatike, amka ukatike. Tulemanzi anavokata tonight, shaking her feet to left and to right. Mamanzi wote nataka mfurai, nataka mudance, ki experience. Yes, you look so romantic tonight. On that outfit imekutai. So tule ramza basi baby, shake your waist like kama Beyonce. Songa karibu nikuonyeshe hicho kiuno, nikukamate chini kwa chini, tusakate from now mpaka je. Au vipi baby, baby, baby. Tulemanzi anavokam, anavocheza drum, anavokata bam 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 bam. Ninapenda ukidance, cause you have a chance. Basi ya amka ukatike, amka ukatike, amka ukatike, amka ukatike, amka ukatike. Tulemanzi anavokam, anavocheza drum, anavokata bam 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 bam. Ninapenda ukidance, cause you have a chance. Amka ukatike, amka ukatike, amka ukatike, amka ukatike, amka ukatike. Just take a look the way she's moving.
Nasikia kuzipamba bila, nasikia kuzipamba bila 434 na tuko na leka boss, leka na tuko na leka boss, leka na tuko na leka boss, leka. Hakuna kitu mimi napenda kama kukata na kulewa. Hakuna kitu mimi napenda kama kushoda kuna tenda. Hakuna kitu mimi napenda kama magema. Hakuna kitu mimi napenda kama selector.
Nakauna rada basi sayo menino, nakauna kopi basi sayo menino, nakaukujua basi sayo menino, umenino, nakauna rada basi sayo menino, nakauna kopi basi sayo menino, nakaukujua basi sayo menino, umenino.
Where you at nigga, niko na form now you know. Jumanze nimejipin mandom, same kona do this ladies wanna go juu before walikuwa wanasema na wabo never before. Ni macall zimejaa call logs inbox na request zote ni watoto. Nimekupin ukikuja na watoto, nimekupin ukikuja sikuja ukiwa solo.
Niko kwa keja nikihang na mabaddies and bandits, buda tu bagu yatia nani ndio nani, na kama dubene za feel niko lucky, mob tezi nazo uliza hadi chaki.
The DJ actually wants us to just get onto the dance floor. He just wants us to get onto the dance floor. I hope that you're having yourselves a good time just as much as we are right here in studio. Let's have this final conversation and then we get to dance. And right now, I want to introduce you to the cast members of the Matu musical. So they are here, they will be letting us know more about what the Matu musical is all about. It's a musical. Are they speaking about matatus? What are they talking about? There's a twist to it since I've read the synopsis, but they're here to let us know all about it. So I'll allow them to introduce themselves, beginning with a lady, of course. So let me begin with you. Introduce yourself to us.
My name is Cynthia Gitonga. I am a performing artist, a filmmaker, and a Gen Z.
You had to put in the Gen Z. I had to. Sipolebas.
Hello. My name is Ekirapa Edwin. I'm a performing artist. I'm a theater actor, film actor, and a cast member in the Matu musical.
Amazing.
Yes.
My name is Jeff Omondi Opondo. I'm a professional actor and a Gen Z.
Okay. Gen Z is lazima muongeze hiyo.
It's an occupation.
Which era?
Being a Gen Z is literally an occupation.
It's an occupation. All right, it's a pleasure to have all of you on set with us today. And we are talking about the musical that is Matu musical. So is it a stage play? Is it something, is it a film? What is it? It's a musical, yes, but is it staged?
Yeah, it's a musical, a stage play. Matu musical is a political Kenyan is a Kenyan political satire explaining the Kenyan political history way back from before we gained independence to the recent Gen Z protests. It dates down all the regimes, all that has been happening in the political era.
Okay. So it's actually it's it's following our story when it comes to politics and the leaders we've had over the years and how we've been running the country and all of that. But now it's called Matatu Musical. So why that name?
Why Matatu Musical? As you've said, it's a journey from independence till date. And if it's a journey, then you need something to travel with. Yes, and we have to respect every journey that we are going through. So we had to take the Matatu. What best way to take the Matatu with? The Matatu, which is the vibrant city and which is colorful and everything. So we are taking you through the Matatu Musical on stage, and hopefully everyone will love it.
Oh, so now this is a story. So you're telling us the story of, you know, the political landscape, the Kenya's political landscape, but you're doing it while inside a matatu. Did I get you right? So is that what is happening on stage?
Yes. Actually, just to emphasize on what my friends have said, we are using the matatu as a symbol. So nganya inatumika tuka symbolism ya represent the whole country. So picture situation yenye the country is being compared to a matatu. How the matatu culture is. If you picture it that way, unaweza jiuliza hizo maswali za country yetu tuna drive hivyo vipoa. Are we in the right track? Now madere wenye wamekuwa kitu drive ever since the beginning. Wamechange ama tu ni wale wase wamevaa nguo zingine, unaona? So the reason why tumetumia matatu ni kwa sababu ina appeal to the Gen Zs again. Na si ati hata tuko na shida na millennials au nini. Tuna feel nyinyi mlishapiga na mwendo yenyu. So pick from there. And it's just a culture of defiance, love, togetherness, unity, peace.
And even bringing hope.
And hope for, you know, what can be or for the better, you know, for a better future, Kenyan future. All right, so I want to get into your individual characters. Tell me about your character. Who are you playing and what is she all about in that stage?
I'll be playing a prosecutor. That is, we've said we're traveling back to from when we gained independence to now. So I'll be playing a prosecutor in the Moise regime, who we understand, like in the Moise regime, prosecutors and courts and everything were like used to instill fear. So I'll be playing a prosecutor who will be prosecuting probably activists and such people who fought for the country. What's your character?
My character is called Nuru, and Nuru names say ako hopeful about the future and how things are going to unfold. Na nimse alikuanga back there colonialists wakikuja Kenya. So aliface hiyo colonial torture, akakuja akaona this is the torture that we are going through. So after independence, sasa the Maumau fought, this is the Kenya that we were wishing for tutapata. But again venye mkoloni alienda tukapata tuko na wakoloni mamboleo. So his wish was like, we chased away the proper colonialists. How come wakoloni mamboleo bado wanatucolonize? So his word is like, manze, world itoi change. So it's like asking a question to the audience and to the people at large, like, is this thing really going to change? But at heart, he's really hopeful and he's giving hope to the future, like there's a better future for this country. Yes.
Who do you play in the musical?
I'm playing the role Jamba. Jamba, personally, my take is that he's a silent protagonist. Ni ule stero mwenye amefichwa. Because it's from Jamba's situation that the whole story comes. Because the story is being told by my daughter. By the time you're meeting Jamba in the play, inaanza kama the white men wamekuja to the highlands areas of our countries na wananyakua shamba. So Jamba is one of the youths wenye walikuwa wana radicaliziana, wanaambiana tusialao wasi wachukue shamba zetu. And by that time I had a daughter called Mama Kenya. So by the time tunashikwa, village yetu inakuwa captured, by the time napelekwa cell kumadwa, na kwanga nimemwacha na beads zangu nikimwambia if something happens to me this is my seed, plant it even in thorns, design baki na hiyo spirit ya kutafuta change na kutafuta freedom. Yeah, so Mama Kenya picks that up, and venye anaendelea grow from 1963 up to date, she narrates the story of the same spirit that I instilled in her.
Nice.
So yeah.
So how different is you know, this performance compared to every other performance that you have been part of? Let me begin with you.
Basically, tumezoea kukua like politics inakuanga ever serious, ever straight to the point, inakuanga either ni wars ama ni abductions or anything, but sisi tumeileta in a satirical way. Yes, these things happen, but how are we going to feed to the audience these things happening, but in an artistic way, in a beautiful way, and in such a way that it will not rub anyone, but to get people to understand and to know where we are going and where we have come from. And I think we are very prepared to show the world what is in store for them.
Yeah. What was it easy for you to get into that, you know, the person you're playing in the musical?
Really, no. Because Cynthia would never do that. Cynthia would... The prosecutor is literally instilling fear in those activists. You should not be saying this about Moi.
Yeah.
Cynthia would never do that. And it also reminds me of, like, in those days, freedom of speech was not there. So I'm silencing kina Maina Kinyati, kina Wahome. I'm silencing them in court, where we expect the court to be fair, which is not. So it was not really easy, but I'll play it anyway.
Yeah.
It's not Cynthia anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jamba, how different is Jamba from Jeff?
From Jeff, wow, that's so interesting. When you say from Jeff, actually hata mimi nimejiuliza who is Jeff.
Na Jeff ni wewe sasa.
I play a lot of characters.
Yeah.
For an actor, it's so hard to be one person
Yeah.
because you're juggling between many personalities. But what I'd say is Jamba is so passionate and so spirited about whatever he wants, and ni mzalendo. And me, up to 2024, I was one of those people wenye mi ningeambia mabeshte zangu mi siwezi vote, mi sioni venye itanisaidia, mi siendi kuchukua kura. But interacting with the role Jamba, I realized that even as a youth, nafaa kukuwa na hiyo changamoto ya kutafuta change every time, not only in my life but in the society for the next generation. So I feel like Jamba, apart from being passionate na spirited about change na country yake, I mean, impact mimi as Jeff kukua that personality. Yeah.
I get it. So it's a musical. Are you guys singing on stage? Do you expect, you know, people to just, you know, someone to come out singing this or that? Is that what we should be expecting?
A lot of singing, a lot of dancing and acting. It's a whole package of acting, singing, dancing to tell the story. Yeah.
So it's packaged in a way that it's all rounded, you know?
Yeah.
I can only imagine how interesting that is, you know? You talking about this very serious issue, because it's a serious conversation, right? But you're doing it in a light manner, artistic, that's the word. You're doing it in an artistic manner, you know? You are
I'm saying that's the
chipping in.
beauty of literature, because now you don't have to put the truth too naked like that, cloth it kidogo. And then by the time the audience is understanding is like, oh, kumbe watu wanaongelelea Kenya. Yeah, and then, that's beauty for me.
So how did you guys land the roles that you're playing? Did you have to go for auditions? Ama nyinyi wale wase unaambiwa we come kuna party yako fulani hapa. Come uicheze, literally.
How we wish.
So how was that? How was it landing, you know, such roles?
The audition process was so much intense. Kwanza kwa hii audition, it was so intense because we were so many of us and we only got to be selected, a few of us. And from that selection, we had a short list again. Where again, we had to do our best so that you can be shortlisted to be the main cast or part of the cast. And the process was amazing at the same time, terrifying, but excited at the same time again.
Na ilikuwa you're now watching, you're now coming to audition with probably people you've been watching, you've been wishing to work with, probably mtu kama Jeff. I saw Jeff in the auditions, nitaweza kweli, and then I was shortlisted with him. I was, kumbe. And it was amazing. The casting directors also made it easy for us, but it was also like exploring you as a performing artist.
All right. Yeah. So who are the people, you know, behind it, you know, who, because you're the cast members, so who are the people behind the whole musical, maybe the producers, the directors, the writer?
Maybe I won't talk about the producer, because I feel like that's not my place to say, but the script writer and the director, because they're the ones we interact with. We're being directed by the one and only Gilbert Lucalia. He's a renowned theater practitioner and also a film director. He's also been an actor since back then. I think this is his third professional musical he's directing, or second, I'm not sure. The script writer is called Ndiretu or Ndech. He's mostly into music production, but he had a passion for writing, passion for change. He started writing the script at around 2013. That's how he developed it, did another draft by 2017, and then approached Gili. According to his words, Gili akaringa, and then went back to him in 2022. They did another draft, and then approached Gili. Gili was like, okay, maybe the time is right. And then by 2024, we had the Gen Z protest, and then they felt like, we should do this now. So they came together, wakatafuta a team. Actually, the reason why I can't talk about the producer because many people are on board, so si tunaonanga tu mambo inafanyika. So wezi target mtu mmoja useme ni huyu. But yeah, so far so good. Every stakeholder involved wametulea vizuri.
All right. And so, you know, as you've mentioned, this is a story that the writer started writing it in 2013. And those are things that sometimes we overlook, or we don't really get to know the behind the scenes before we get to see the stories that we get to be told, you know, by our creators out here. And just to think that, you know, this is someone who has been working on this thing for more than 10 years. More than 10 years, literally. That is insane. You know, so it's really good when we embrace our own things. You know, this has been almost the theme since we started, whereby we're talking about just embracing our own things, embracing our creators, whether be it musical creators, you know, musicians, be it actors, be it dancers, just embracing it. Because I mean, can you imagine having the same script for 10 years? You're just working on it,
even one
working on it more than 10 years. Like, that's a lot. So yes, we keep preaching us supporting our own, and they begin by coming to watch the play, you know. That is part of them showing support. So when is it showing? Where is it showing? How are people coming to watch it, you know?
It will be showing up to at the Kenya National Theatre from the 22nd, which is on a Thursday, to 25th on a Sunday. We have 2 shows the weekend. On Saturday and Sunday, tuko na show afternoon, and then late evening, Sunday same. Thursday na Friday tuko na show moja peke yake per day. Iko kando ya KBC, nyuma ya Nairobi University. Yeah, because I feel like now,
what are we hoping for? So it's like a better thing to do and a better place to be in theater.
Yes. I love that. And truly, theater is, you know, you interact with the actors on stage. You see them as they actually do it, you know. So all the emotions, everything, you get to pick it immediately right there as they do it. All right, we need to be winding up, and as we wind up, I want you to yani mfanye watu watake kukuja kuona hii show. Unajua, so what is it about this show that you feel everyone out there needs to come and get to experience it?
Na feel ni kama it's being a Kenyan political history way back from the before independence is very personal to every generation. Like you've said, he's written for 13, he's had the script for 13 years. That means he knows way better. Ndio hata tukifika hapa pahali tulikuwa tunasema Gen Zs have done protest nini. No, as a Gen Z would think, you're probably the first to save the country, but you come to realize it has been on there have been people who have been fighting over the years. Na sasa ndio hata nilikuwa nasoma script, even to get to that prosecutor nilikuwa nasoma script na kumbe sisi Gen Z wa kwanza. There were those people I was mentioning, kina Wahome, kina Maina Kinyati. So it's very personal to every Kenyan, I feel like this is your story. It's just that we have been selected to tell it to you.
And the fact that tumekuwa tuko proud of our matatus huku nje, tukiona every new matatus zenye iko graffiti, iko na lights nini, we embrace it as our own. It's high time we embrace Kenya as our own, because as much as tuna bring that symbolism ya matatu kwa nini, tunataka kuonyesha there is a hopeful Kenya. Kenya is still beautiful. Kenya can still move forward. And there's a great future for us. Na mtu kukam kucheki na one that hopeful thing, kama venye anaweza tu relate ina matatu, akuwa kwa matatu, the same way atakuwa kwa stage, relate na Kenya, na apende Kenya, na atake kudo what's better for Kenya.
Amazing. Jeff?
For me, nasimaanisha ati mimi ni mzee. I'm really happy to be working with.
Sasa wewe ni Gen Z.
But naona kama Cynthia amenianika hapa nikasema sawa. The idea is cast yetu, and I'm really grateful for the production because walichukua cast from 18 to ikienda sana I think 29, 30, 33 hapo. So una realize as much as me ni young, na work na wase younger than me. So na experience life afresh again because wako na psych wananikumbusha time yangu. Pia mimi niko na psych hiyo design. So I feel like Kenyans wengi wakikam show watapata a fresh look into the industry because wase wengi wana complainingi mimi nimeona tu actor same. So wase wakikam wanaenda kumeet energy mpya na ni energy iko na passion baya sana. And then apart from that, au mayouth wenye wako mtaani wenye tuna encourage wakam kuwatch show wata realize kitu moja ni si pia ni mayouth tuko na hiyo right ya kwenda kwa streets ku riot, but sasa kuna venye tumejanjaruka kidogo, tumeamua tulete hiyo riot yetu kwa stage na tutumie talents zetu kujiexpress. So I feel like Peter kwa encouragement kwa wasi wenye wako mtaani wakikam kuwatch wa realize apart from kukatu base na kuchachisha jia gava ama kubanta tu, neza do nini positively na maybe talent yangu ama kidogo yenye neza do kupush your change. Na hiyo ndo the best thing yenye na happen na Matu musical.
All right. Thank you so much for coming to the show today. It was a pleasure having you on set. And we can't wait to now watch you on set. You have something to say?
I've forgotten to say. Is it okay nikiambia watu watu follow kwa our socials?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. That's your camera.
Thank you. Wase mkumbuke kutufollow kwa socials zetu za Matu musical. Hapo ndo kuna every other detail about the show, ticketing, na maybe kama kutakuwa na sequel kwenda mbele. Otherwise, keep it Matu musical. #DandiaMa3.
All right, that is it. #DandiaMa3. #Matu musical. So make sure you go get to you make a point of going to watch the Matu culture. It's showing several days, so make sure you just go and get to experience it and watch it as well. This is where we end this particular conversation. Na sasa hile masaa imefika ya sisi kuanguka nayo tu. So it's time for Cosmic the DJ to take on do you take on the turntables? Is that proper English? For him to just do his thing on the turntables. So how about we get to enjoy some music from Cosmic the DJ. Na nimeona mnaweza dance, see to dance. Yeah.
Without my pride, it won't be the first damn time. Don't even ask me why, that's what you do to me. I'll be the first to break. I've given all it takes, but this love we can't maintain. This time you cut too deep. I know we're good, but we're so bad together. I know you know that you're my guilty pleasure. I give an inch, you give a different measure. You do, yeah. And every touch you give me, I remember. I know you know that you're my guilty pleasure. I give an inch, you give a different measure. I keep out of my way. Keep going out of my way. Keep going out of my way. Keep going out of my way.
Yo, I want to make $1 million, man. I said that in my last bar. I'm getting money now, this is where my life starts. Just go crazy when they see me in a brand new whip. I be like nothing, man, you should've seen my last car. Caramel chick, I got her looking like a Mars bar. Cause they didn't see the potential. When I pulled up, I heard them screaming at rent. All men, all me, I'm a shut down central. X6 Range Rolls and a few mercs. D2 on the shirt. See the man them around me, they're putting in work. Drink up till we get burst. Yo, so why them man breading? Straight to the top where I'm heading. They be like, yo, Don E, man, we got the same jeans, yeah, but I still be better than him. I heard them man say, one day, I don't bleed, from Monday to Sunday. I heard them man say, one day, I don't bleed, from Monday to Sunday.
Well, tell a mess. Come they move like a disco. One nick in my lalata. Happy boss, happy actor. So never give me ball under. Oh yeah, come take a picture. Right, you're a young buyer. Oh yeah, follow my instruction. Wale me ba, wale me ba, wale me ba. Wale me ba, wale me ba, wale me ba. Like a mess. Cut the smoke cannabis. Doctor say make a pop on a this. Make me fly like say I'm Aladdin. Come bring some kind melodies. I'm a messy self, no do pass a this. So many things inside of my jeans. Slide down the beatings. Like LMS. Come they move like a disco. One nick in my lalata. Happy boss, happy actor. So never give me ball under. Oh yeah, come take a picture. Right, you're a young buyer.
Edges, tell them they're gonna take the piss. When step out to that turn up in a dish. Body comfortable, I'm physically fit. I'm a brown and sweet, just like the chocolate.
Bossy, Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like I'm bossy.
Hey yo, Idris, tell them they're gonna take the piss. When step out to that turn up in a dish. Body comfortable, I'm physically fit. I'm a brown and sweet, just like the chocolate. Yo, Wiley, them ones sound like me. Other than a pussy pretty with the upper body. Shut down in the city with me bad girl pussy. Every man want piece of me. The back of them a pop and them a bun weed. Man want wine behind me have to move kind dusty. I'm looking for a brother who got hella pound. 079, baby, I'm a hammer, did you stop?
Bossy, Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like I'm bossy.
Hey yo, Sean.
Kwa murima tunare
waka waka zima daru umevutaje nanga mapanga lemembaulia shanga mamito wakutoa ya mbaba mbaya sana miss to me namtumia fea ya kuji unaweza penda sana usipuli piga sea kwanza inashuri chushu inakuli una saksua tumbo nadhanini mimba nolitumia mpira kwenu juni bia idea ya squeeze ya kuteka mzungu ni kuwe na mrima no kuwe mluya nauliza mbona umeniachia pombe ninalewa huko nyumbani peke yangu ni uongo gani walevi usema sana ati tumewacha pombe na wamakodi usemanga nini sana waisikani kasipore
Oh, here we go. Avatars here, you know it's a party everywhere we go. Chibambe, let your worries go. Oh, here we go. Avatars here, you know it's a party everywhere we go. Chibambe, let your worries go.
Niko pwani nimejaza mahani, samahani na josipatikani. Niko kojani ninachonga majani, na kama uwezi dansi tabidi nikejani. Nipe motisha, huku ni visa, ni saa sita, una sita sita. Mkilalisha, mitawakilisha, ntawashikanisha hadi ndani ya kanini. Hii ni critical, misi criminal. Come tunde hivi tuwe physical. Hapa mashida ni minimal, gari tuko nazo mingi atateza indi.
Avatars here, you know it's a party everywhere we go. Chibambe, let your worries go. Oh, here we go. Avatars here, you know it's a party everywhere we go. Chibambe, let your worries go. My daddy, oh my daddy, my daddy, oh my daddy, my daddy, oh my daddy, my daddy, oh oh, my daddy, oh my daddy, my daddy, oh my daddy, my daddy, oh my daddy, my daddy, oh oh.
First time I saw you, I knew you're the one. Don't wanna lose you, I need you with me. I need you with me. Sweet melody that I needed the most. Can't imagine life without my shady. Without my shady. I never wanna hear you cry. I wanna bring out the best in you so that we can share this life. There's nothing I wouldn't do. Only wanna see you smile. Even if you don't have a reason to. You came at the perfect time. It's like I was sent here to rescue you.
My daddy, oh my daddy, my daddy, oh my daddy, my daddy, oh oh, my daddy, oh my daddy, my daddy, oh my daddy. If I get
Reduce it. Yes, and that is how we do it every single Thursday morning right here on Entertainment Thursday. This is just the proper way for you to start off your Thursday, which is actually Friday Eve. So how about you just have some fun, have some good time. Unfortunately, we are going to be ending the show. How was the show for you today?
That was late. From the conversations to the music that the DJ was playing, I think we have set, this is the precursor for a fascinating weekend.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mr. DJ, you have really sorted us today.
Yes, I said I'm going to play everything.
And you did.
You were touching a bit of
Director, kambili tu.
Tucheze gospel ya kumaliza. Very nice.
Numaliza pambio.
And this is how we do it, and this is where we get to end today's show. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who has been part of it. On behalf of everyone who has made the show a success, we wish you a lovely day. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Malisifichika tutoni kandenga soko mini missing akasizi katenda facial ni pretty baraka yake denda body fine vibe top kwenye mimi napenda role play love ndo wake na niweza daily nipe dose ni gonjo sizi pona knock who's there Mr. Tenda wema.
Hautaabudu yoyote wala kuelekeza ibada yoyote kwa mwingine asiyokuwa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bali ibada zako zote utakuwa mwenye kumwelekezea Allah. Unapokuwa na matatizo yoyote utakuwa mwenye kumkimbilia Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Masharti haya ni kuwa na imani ya neno lile. Useme neno ambalo huna imani nalo.
Mama mbele yono kuwasomea somo la asma arnabon songora asadun sim anana
سلم دائما أبدا على حالي siwezi neno lolote bila wewe.
What is so where is the balance between what's a good decision and what's a godly decision?
Parents or like mentors or pastors, they're older than us, so they've experienced more than what we have. So when they tend to give us those advice or decisions to make,
he felt bad after because the decision isn't good in the end, because God's decisions are always good, so we should always follow them.
If it's good according to the standards of the world, then it is not necessarily godly.
I think our environment and things we interact with, like social media and friends, they most of the times influence the kind of decisions that we make.
Kusahona nafanya googling natembea in front of my husband hapo.
Kwani wewe kasuku?
Wewe
mimi ile heshima hata nilikuwa na kuheshimu madam, naona hakuna haja.
Hata mimi hapana kuheshimu
wewe.
Huu kwanza ndo jini mkatakamba mheshimiwa.
Mimi unaona
nilileta majini saa ngapi?
Hiyo mimi ilikuwa napenda yeye. Unajua penda nataka kutuanga. Lakini
hiyo mapenzi yako ni tofauti.
Namna gani hata wewe iko paya googling yeye, alafu wewe napundisha yeye nafanya jigli yangu.
Why did you bring temptation kwa nyumba za wenyewe?
Yes.
Hakuna temptation imeletwa.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Got into modeling when I was just watching on the TV, saw how kids out here inspire their talents, and that's how I decided to join modeling and come out and shine to my talents.
And the book we're going to read today is Cocorico, Who Woke Me Up.
A tutor who tutored the flute tried to tutor two tutors to toot.
They'll be preparing for you an Italian grape cake.
They make us remember the motherly song. Akili, akili.
This project was started in our district in the year 2008, and we donate hands to amputees whose hands are amputated below the elbow, 5 to 6 inches.
Persons with disabilities across the country need to recognize that they are the voice, and their voices need to be heard. Many caregivers feel lonely and require psychosocial support, but they also need to recognize that you cannot fill from an empty cup. You need to be the voice of your child.
A typical site in the Tokyo suburbs, a roadside stall, offering an array of freshly picked vegetables. Such stalls are usually unattended. They operate on the honor system. You choose what you want and leave the exact amount of money. Prices are set in round numbers, since there's no one to make change. It makes shopping so easy. I can park right next to the stall. Quantities are small, but there's a lot of variety. This stall features produce from 4 nearby farms. Everything's much fresher than the supermarket. And I like the way you never know what's going to be here on sale each time. Kawasaki Yuki is one of the farmers who sells at this stall. His farm produces over 100 kinds of vegetables. But he had a problem. Stores don't accept irregular shapes or sizes of produce, so some of his crop was always unsaleable. Not wanting to discard them, Kawasaki decided to sell these otherwise fine vegetables at the roadside stall. If a vegetable shows the slightest sign of insect damage, stores won't take it. But people buying at the stall are more concerned with taste and price. People buy from the stall because this is the freshest produce available, even though it might not look so pretty. Whatever I buy here is delicious. I enjoy checking it out every day. Kawasaki likes to drop by from time to